everyone, Old School Pokemon here, back again with the Pokeflips podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles, Dan. How we doing today, Dan?
I mean, in this market, I'm surprised people even remember what we look like, what the Pokeflips podcast is. We took a week off. Well, we do every other week. Yeah, we took a month off, essentially. I'm always busting other podcast chops. Slab podcast just dropped an episode. I'm always busting, hey, my favorite quarterly podcast dropped an episode. And Mr. Consistent himself, Mr. Not on YouTube ever again, unless it's on Pokeflips himself, we did skip an episode for the holidays. But we're back. We're booming. When we left 4 weeks ago, I never would have guessed that we would be where we are today. But here we are. I'm inside of the rocket ship. Nick and the thumbnail is strapped to the outside of the rocket ship, as you saw.
Thanks.
And we are journeying together through this market mania. I love the name Journey Together because like all my live stream titles are going to be like, let's journey together through this Pokemon market boom, mania, crash, whatever ends up happening. We're journeying together through it.
I like it. No, I don't know how I feel about that set name. That's kind of I don't know. It's kind of lame, I thought.
I love it just for the titles. That's all.
It does work well with titles, I will admit.
I like that I don't think we have any other set with Journey in its name or any other set with Together in the set name. So it's kind of like too many evolutions, too many overlap of the same words, and then I get confused. Too many of the same like acronyms too. PF, are we talking Phantom Forces? Are we talking Paldean Fates? JT, Journey Together. It is unique. It is its own thing. I'm a fan personally. So, but yeah, like what's going on? How are your holidays? Let's cover all that stuff. How are your holidays? What's going on this weekend? What have you been up to?
Holidays were very good. It was really nice. Flew back home for Christmas. Spent a couple of days back home with my mom and my sister. Got to see my cousins, my grandparents. So that was a good time. I actually took right before Christmas until I think it was like the first full week in January off from the lives. So that was really nice. It was supposed to be relaxed during like Christmas when I was back home and then be productive when I got back here. But it ended up turning into like a week-long vacation and just did not do anything. So that was really nice. I enjoyed that.
You got to have those sometime.
Oh yes, absolutely. But now I'm back into it. Started back up with the lives. That's been going really, really well now that we're in the new year. Finally starting to see some advertising on eBay pushing lives. Viewership's been increasing. Pack ripping has been going wild. So it's been going really, really well. I've been having fun with it. Hopefully it continues for the foreseeable future.
Hopefully it does. Pre-stream, we were talking a little bit. Apologies for being a couple minutes late. I was finishing up a delicious calzone, and we were just chatting for a few minutes. But hopefully eBay Live has enough room because sometime in the next month or two, I think KetchumAllCollectibles Incorporated is going to find their way over there. We'll have to see who's manning the helm on the streaming. It's not going to be me. I'm in the background doing all the sourcing. Going live on YouTube way too late in the night. I was live less than 12 hours ago. But I like live once or twice on YouTube a week and doing a bunch of buying, sourcing, sending them out to my people, and then having them stream the stuff. I like that thing. But I pulled up our thing. I couldn't remember the date. I guess I could have looked 4 Fridays back on the calendar. But December 13th was our last episode of this. That's crazy.
So it has almost been a month.
So like solidly before Christmas and everything. Christmas for me, New Year's for me, all the normal things, family, friends, good food, maybe a little bit of alcohol mixed in there as well. Great time. The kids were apparently way more behaved than I thought they were last year because Santa treated them very well. better than I thought he should have, but it is what it is. I actually did. I already talked about it on my channel, but I might as well talk about it here quick. I did a seafood boil, and I did like 3 types of meat for New Year's Eve at my house. I did tenderloin, I did picanha, and I did ribeye. Reverse seared, done on the smoker, seared on the grill. Amazing. One of the best, like probably the best meal of 2024. I know we had the great meal. Well, not we as in me and you. We as in all the cool kids that went to Charlotte CollectiCon instead of whatever that abomination was you went to for eating live. Gen Con. I couldn't remember. But I had good food there. I had good food a lot of other places in 2024, but I think this was my best meal of 2024 on New Year's Eve at my house. It was Dungeness crab and king crab and snow crab and little neck clams and all the meats I talked about. Like, it was amazing.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and then other than that, it's like I haven't been live myself, but you mentioned like taking a week off. I definitely took a little bit of time off here and there while the family, wife and kids were off for 2 weeks for the holidays with school. So I definitely spent some time with them, and I did all my YouTube live stream obligations aside from PokeFlips. We skipped that, but I think we only missed Christmas Day. As far as like the Fanatics lives go. So PK and Panga are really crushing it over there.
Awesome.
But there definitely might be a platform crossover. There might be a little bit of an expansion looming on the horizon. I am enrolled in eBay Live. Yeah, I need to iron out the particulars and get everything figured out. I need to figure out which one of Nick's streams that I want to steal some thunder from and try to have PK or Panga go live at the same time. And I have to get all those details ironed out. But yeah, we'll see.
That'll be good. Yeah, I do think this is the year for the lives for sure.
And I guess we're 7 minutes in now. We've been ranting and rambling for a little bit. People hopping in. As we always do, we're going to hang out here for the next few hours, depending on how things go. Probably 4:15 as we normally do. So feel free to leave your questions in the chat. We should be able to get to everything. Last night, I was really struggling. Couple hundred people in last night. It was crazy. And I got like over an hour behind in chat. The chat jumped on me. So I lost like 20 minutes. But other than that, I powered through and I answered every single question. So we always do the same here. Leave your questions in chat, and otherwise we'll just rant and ramble about whatever's on our mind. James wants to know if we're booming. Very good question to start off with. Thank you, Mr. James, Z&G Emporium. Are we booming, Nick?
We are definitely booming. It is wild what's going on right now. The Journey ETBs and booster boxes getting sold out in minutes. That is crazy. No? I did not even. I was not even up when they went up. I woke up and they were already gone.
Better than being awake and spending 2 hours trying to frantically get them and not getting anything. So I saw, shout out to Java Akuma. I saw immediately. I had Discord opened on half of one of my screens. I saw Java ping it. I'm like, ugh. Everyone's been telling me, Dan, you're stupid. You would be retired by now if you just bought PC ETBs. So I'm like, okay, let me go in. It took me like 10 minutes from when I initially saw the ping, 5 to 10 minutes, just to buy 2 PC ETBs. I actually went in and I scooped up a couple sitting cuties, which kind of slowed me down. I'm always talking about like praising Arceus and blessing the hobby. I don't even have an Arceus sitting cutie, I don't think. So I changed that. I do have 2, but I put 2 Arceus sitting cuties in my cart, and then I tried adding the 2 PC ETBs and checking out together. That slowed me down. So my own stupidity slowed me down because I should have just bought sitting cuties when it wasn't like go time with pre-orders for certain products, because you can't buy like an in-stock product and a pre-order product in the same cart. You have to do them separately. But anyways, I did get my 2 Arceus sitting cuties. I did get my 2 Journey Together PC ETBs, and then I did get a sealed case, which I don't know if it's different than the normal ones. Full retail plus sales tax, like an absurd amount of money to pay. but it's like maybe it'll be a PC exclusive stamp on those cards. I do like the thought though. Pivot into this. What are your thoughts on the enhanced booster boxes with box toppers, a la like EX era? And
I like that idea. I'm excited for that. I am like you said. I am curious whether or not you're gonna get Pokemon Center stamped promos in your booster box or not. I almost don't think you will, unless they do something with the booster box to say that's from the Pokemon Center. Because if it's the exact same booster box, how are you gonna know? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
In my mind, this is my theory. I could be wrong. Please don't tear me apart if you like stick out your order and don't cancel your pre-order and then it doesn't come this way. But I see this era as being like Pokemon knows everything's going to sell. Pokemon knows that distributors are going to mark up, LGSs are going to mark up, online retailers are going to mark up, and they're like, "Hey man, we're the ones making this stuff and we're left out of the party. We're not allowed to scalp. We're not allowed to increase our MSRP." One thing they are allowed to do, though, they are allowed to distribute. Well, they are allowed less to sell less of a percentage to distributors and sell more through their own site. So when they sell through Pokemon Center, they're capturing not full market price when market price is like double, triple MSRP, but they're capturing full MSRP. I mean, I don't know what they sell to distributors for, but given that I buy from a distributor for $92.50-ish, they're selling to a distributor for like 80 or less, if I had to guess. So
I bet it's like 70.
Yeah, they're doubling up. And they have to do the labor, they have to have the employees, they have to have the warehouse space, fulfillment, yada yada, all that stuff. It's not like they're netting all of that. They have costs associated with netting that additional gain, but it's not surprising that they added SKUs of like a Pokemon Center ETB. It wouldn't surprise me if they added a new SKU. And Magic has collector's boosters, Pokemon going for like more of a premium booster. Throw a box topper in every box, but for the Pokemon Center ones that they're capturing full retail on themselves, throw a little stamp on that. People will go nuts. Look at the Obsidian Flames PC ETB Charmander. That thing's like $1,000 in PSA 10 right now. It is wild. We are booming in every sense of the word. This market is insanity, absurdity. Surging Sparks, 240, 250. You've got Prismatic ETB, regular ones at like 150 on TCG Player. And it's just mind-blowing what's going on in the hobby.
The thing that I don't like about that, though, is right now it's only LGSs that are allowed to sell on or have anything up on TCG Player. So the prices are always super inflated. What's going to happen when next Friday comes and everyone's able to have their ETBs up on the website? What do you think pricing's going to do? I think it's going to drop. I don't think we're not going to break 100. I'm thinking it's going to be like 110, 120.
See, I think it'll drop for like a week, and then people will just gobble it up, and then it'll be like 200. I think, and know my bias, know that I have 180 Prismatic ETBs coming. No, like, I'm not going to be selling any as sealed ETBs. I'm going to add some to my palette for myself and my dad. I'm going to break a bunch down for streams, and I'm going to sit on like some of them in addition to what I put on the palette. So know that I am biased. Know that I make money if they go up. But I truly think they'll be like $200 within a month or two. Will they get reprinted? What'll happen further down the line? I don't know. But I think before April, I think Prismatic ETBs, the regular ones, will be $200 a piece. Like Hidden Fates type scenario. And if you want to talk about 2, 3, 5 years later, it would not overly surprise me if they're 200 in 3 months and they're 200 in 3 years. If they have that kind of stagnation like Hidden Fates did. We never know, though. We never know that like I would attribute a certain percentage to each outcome. I think those are like fairly likely outcomes, but there's a lot of other outcomes that could happen too. And those are my thoughts. It's wild. One thing I was going to point back to as well, like Surging Sparks. I'm looking at TCG Player right now, August 20th to 26th. It was 150, and then it went down to like 115 to 120 once the floodgates opened, once it got released, once everyone was able to put their allocation out there. And now it's 240.
Yeah.
It pretty much rode a rocket along with myself and Nick since release right to 240. So I see Prismatic doing something similar in the very short term. But as far as like, if you are the truest of true collectors, I ran a lot about this last night. If you are a collector, you're not buying it for your stream, you're not buying it to invest in, you're just buying it to open it, consume it, have fun with it. I would preach patience. If you can, try to find a drop through Target, try to find a drop through Walmart, wherever you can, like try to get it MSRP. But if you can't, I am fairly confident. I can't guarantee it, but like I'm quite confident. Look at what 151 did. 151 stonked out of the gates, went nuts. Everyone was falling over themselves to get it. And then last summer, over a year after release, it was in Costco for $80 for 16 packs in the UPC. And it sat for a while, sat for months. It was available. I think through one way or another, will it be ETBs? Will it be UPCs? Will it be binder collections? I don't know, but there will be packs available in the next 24 months for sub $6 a piece, for sub MSRP. That is my, like, I would put 85% to that. 85% or more I would attribute to that, the likelihood. By no means a guarantee, but I think that will be the case. So if your goal is to just open some, if you want to open them now, well, how bad do you want it? Do you want to pay $15 a pack? It's there. Like, it's not like none of this is out there. It's just a matter of how much do you value your impatience? How much do you value opening it now? What are your thoughts on all that? You think it's going to go to like 120 and then stay there for a while? Or do you think it's going to like temporarily go to 120?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be temporary and then go back. Same thing like you were saying with Surging Sparks. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say was you're setting some of this initial release of ETBs back. You're not gonna sell everything and bank on the fact that they're gonna reprint it.
So I'm doing like, I think I'm doing 6 ETB cases to the pallet for me and my dad, which my dad is like winning very well on that because I'm just putting them on the pallet at $30 a piece that I paid for them. So he's getting a lot of, I mean, I am too, but the way that I've done this thing with him, this partnership, whatever, it's like if wholesale, which sometimes it is, if wholesale is like above market, which is crazy as that sounds, sometimes it is, historically speaking, it's going to go on and he's going to pay what I pay. And if it's below market, he's going to pay what I pay as well. But yeah, I'm probably going to put 6 on the pallet for our agreement that we do. I'll probably put 2 to 4 more, not like a crazy amount, because I do need the packs. I do need the packs for the streams.
That's what I'm saying. If you're only getting 180, that's a lot to set back.
Yeah, 180. That's not even, that's like 1,700, 1,600 packs. That's like less than a week worth of PK and Ponga ripping every night like madmen. So I do have the other things coming. I forget what's coming when, and like the booster bundles are coming later. But I will do my best to save all the ETBs as ETBs I can. I'm going to do my best to save all the booster bundles I can as booster bundles. Same thing I do with like booster boxes. I try to do packs out of the ETBs. I try to do packs out of all the other ancillary products before I go to breaking down booster boxes. But when you've got it, you gotta. Like, I definitely will probably break down more than I want to of the ETBs. We'll see where it goes. I have a lot of feelers out. I have some people scalping me. I've already locked in a fair few ETBs at like 105 a piece, 70% of the current price. Will I get wrecked on those? Will I make a ton of money on those? I don't know. But as far as for the people selling, it's like they have them locked in at $60 a pop, and they just have an instant guaranteed sale to me at 105, 110 a piece. Friends and family, Zelle, all those different payment methods. So like it's hopefully a win-win. Hopefully it'll work out. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that will. There's someone on I don't know if I should say, but there's one of the big Facebook buyers is buying Prismatic ETBs at 120 a piece.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know what streamer he works for or what stream he owns, but it's one of the big whatnot streams.
Yeah, it's wild out here. It's very wild. Oh God, Dan's having his dad stream. It's an investment, Dad. That's funny. Walrus says, "Why is Crown Zenith on the thumbnail? Arguably the worst set of Sword and Shield." Man, shots fired. It is S tier. Crown Zenith is amazing. So last night on my live stream, I've got someone in my live stream who like is constantly saying Crown Zenith is going to $10 by January of 2026. I do not think that will be the case. That's way more bullish than I am on the set, but I do like the set. I have several thousand packs of it. I will benefit heavily if it goes to $10 per pack. What are your thoughts on that? I think it was, who was it? Somebody else guessed that it would go to like 750-ish. I'm more in line with that. I could see that happening. 10 is just wild, but everything is wild. Oh yeah, Kiki Jiki.
I can't see $10 a pack.
A
lot is getting ripped still. But there's just so much supply of it. You still see people on Facebook have 500, 1,000 packs, offering them for it's like $450 a pack now. But yeah, no, you still see all those posts constantly. I haven't seen as many. I haven't seen a post of like someone going into Costco and seeing those boxes. I haven't seen that recently. But yeah, no, I can't see that. There's just way too much supply of those packs. But they are getting opened at a steady rate. I don't know about you, but my Crown Zenith has slowed down a good bit. Funny, 151 was like crickets for me. The past maybe month or two, I hardly sold a single 151 pack, and it was Crown Zenith that was doing really, really well. For whatever reason, now it's switched. Crown Zenith is crickets now, and 151 is doing really good.
Yeah, it's hard because like both of us are quite small streamers in the grand scheme of things, and it could just be our followings. But I would say, at least for the past week or so, both PK and Ponga's rips have slowed down a decent bit between both of them. But like prices have also jumped obscenely in the past week or two. So it's like when our prices went up 30% across the board, people might feel a little sticker shock, and it might take them a couple of weeks to get used to that and find that being the new normal, if it's the new normal. But yeah, it's so crazy out here. I really think Crown Zenith with 151, I could be wrong here, but I think those will be the sets that 5 years from now will be selling Crown Zenith on stream. I think that's one, like Hidden Fates Evolutions. Those ones sell on stream right now too. Mm-hmm. I think those ones will stand out. Like over the past few months, because it's the newest set, Surging Sparks has done big numbers and it's been hype. And I think Crown Zenith will do more in 2 years than Surging Sparks is doing in 2 years. I think like whatever the price is, I think if you're pricing reasonable to market, that'll just be one that people come to. It just feels good. The Galarian Gallery, all those beautiful arts, all those chases, the legendary beasts, the gold cards. It's a fun set.
It is. I can definitely see that for sure.
Fat Belly says Dan scalped Sam's Club to hell. Now he's trying to pump the inventory. I buy from people who go to Costco. I've never bought Pokemon from Costco. Last time I went, actually, I went a little over a month ago, I think. I forgot to even look at the Pokemon card section. I don't even know where it is in my Costco. I have no idea if they have anything, what they'd have if they did. But when I go to Walmart to buy their fine meats from their butcher section, I don't even know where. I go to a couple different Walmarts depending on where I'm at. There's like 3 of them within 20 minutes of me. But I don't even know where the cards are, all of them. Target, I just don't. I don't want to be on a video. I don't want to get elbowed out of the way. I don't want to be recorded. Like, I buy from people who sell to me, people who ship to my P.O. box, the comfort of my home, where I have less likelihood of becoming the face of a big scandal.
Speaking of the those Costco boxes, how many Blooming Waters are you getting?
My memory is so bad with all stuff. I'm gonna
Because I
pull
want
up.
to.
You start with
I
how many
want
you're getting.
900. No. I stopped buying 151 to see what the numbers would look like on the Blooming Waters. Because I thought I put in for a crap ton, and I thought I was going to get a decent bid, but it does not seem like that's going to be the case. I'm getting Mad Al, I'm getting 10, and then Southern Hobby, I'm getting 40.
So I'm getting 36 from one, and then I'm getting 7. Oh my god, I'm getting 7 from the other. So that's 43 times what, like 14 or 16 packs or something. I'm getting like 600 packs
per thing.
So I'm getting like 500 packs. Then it's it's a drop in the bucket. It's not much.
Yeah, no.
But it's free money because we're getting them at what, like $3 a pack or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's 12 packs for $36. So I think it is $3 a pack. I mean, I'll take it, but like, I wish there was more too.
I thought there was going to be more, but yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
Chat BN said your dad's getting a right deal. Are you charging him a percentage for managing this Pokemon fund? I'm not. I'm not charging like a 2% management fee. People actually talk. I don't know how seriously it is. I don't know how much of a meme it is, but people talk like, I had people comment on my video. I had people reach out like, oh, you should securitize your Pokemon cards. You should put a pallet. You should put away like a warehouse of Pokemon and then sell shares into it. It's like, I'm not Logan Paul. I'm not trying to do Liquid Marketplace 2.0. I'm not trying to securitize Pokemon cards and then get the SEC sniffing in this arena. Like all those things lead to bad places if you try to do any of that stuff. So I'm not going to be the one to stick my neck out on that and get it chopped off. Walrus says they can't say my food's dry if I boil it. I was shocked. I'm a big seafood guy. Like I really enjoy. I was skeptical when I started. Like when I went to I don't know what the seafood boil chain near me was in like Destiny USA, the big mall in Syracuse. We went to like one of those seafood boil chain places. It was Aloha Crab, maybe. It was fantastic. And I'm like, are they actually putting this in a big boiling like pot of water? Like, wouldn't that waterlog the crab legs? Wouldn't that like make them bad? It does not. Shock. Like I would have guessed it would waterlog them, make them bad. You do it right, it like infuses so much flavor in them. It heats them so much more evenly. Oh my god, it's amazing. I will never steam crab legs again. I will always be doing a boil. It's so much better, so much easier. It takes a little bit longer because you got to boil so much more water. But that is the strat.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the way to go. That's definitely the way to go.
What's your thoughts on you know what piped packs means or no?
I have no idea.
So did you see 3-4 years ago? I remember this being a thing. There's like this little handheld thing that you use on your wall to find wiring and to find pipes and to find metal in your wall.
Oh, okay.
So it's a handheld thing that you put on a pack and you can find packs that have hits. Mm-hmm. Videos were made about it 3 years ago. Drama cycle comes back around. It's Groundhog's Day all over again, as always in the Pokemon hobby. But like Rattle made a video, Opossum made a video, everyone's making a video talking about it. Neocards and Comics, Sports Guys making a video talking about it. I don't think it's a big deal. If you're buying from the right people in the right places, like you're not going to have Rattle coined this, I believe, but like he's calling them piped packs because it's just it's funny. It's a pipe detecting metal detector thing. So yeah, I think ETBs have almost always carried a premium over loose packs, especially in the long run, same as booster boxes. So not due to the whole piping pack scenario, but yes, I think as they always historically have, I think ETBs and booster boxes will retain a premium over loose packs. I don't think this thing is like doing anything drastically to change that.
No, I don't think it's gonna affect anything. I don't think it's gonna be any type of an issue. People were so freaked out about CT scanning, and now you don't hear anything about that.
The fear cycle, news cycle, whatever you want to call it. Remember when Zhao was supposedly resealing, like buying PSA 10s to crack them out, to regrade them, to reseal a cheap bad card in like the case, and how that was gonna like end the hobby. Probably 10 months ago, maybe it was 22 months ago. I forget when that was, what year that even was. What year is it today? I don't even know. But it's like we go through these things. Everyone is screaming, crying, scared for their lives. The hobby's coming to an end. And then a week later, it's like, ooh, shiny thing. Ooh, Umbreon, PSA 10, just sold for this. Ooh, Van Gogh's $1,000. Like, people, TikTok brains are a real thing. And it's just like, it's just today's iteration of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. No, that'll blow over real quick.
So Keenan Montgomery wants to know, when does the huge product dump come from Pokemon to cool the market? I don't know.
It's not possible right now. It's not possible right now.
I wouldn't go that far. It's possible, but I don't think it's
I honestly
whatsoever.
don't think it is. Why didn't it come?
They're smart. They're like, if they were not careful enough, they could kill the hobby. Overprinting, with all of this, distributors investing, with all the sports cards guys investing, with all the Pokemon people investing more than ever. If Pokemon overprints in the next 24 months, they could start the beginning of the end of Pokemon. I think they're smarter than that. I don't think that's coming. I would attribute less than a 1% chance of that. But like, they know that. They're smart. It almost died 25 years ago because they printed too much for a short-term boom. So I think they're going to navigate it better this time. But your guess is as good as anyone's. It's, yeah, no idea. Gengar says, I wonder if Pokemon will put some form of protection over their packs to protect from the piping. There is no shot whatsoever. And to be honest, this whole piping thing has been a thing for a few years. Search it. Search metal detector Pokemon packs on YouTube. There are videos 3-4 years ago with the same exact little black Amazon thing that's in this latest video. So it's not news. It's just news to everyone who isn't as chronically online as I am and hasn't been around for 2, 3, 4 plus years. But no, Pokemon is not going to like encase these things in lead. Pokemon is not going to make them un-CT scannable. Pokemon is not like Scarlet Violet, though, turning into 3 chase cards. Maybe that was like people like shiny. Let's give them more shiny. That could have been a metal detecting prevention thing. We don't know. Pokemon is smarter than us. Pokemon has more information than us. They have a lot of highly paid people who follow all this stuff, and they've known for a long time, maybe not since year 1, but they've known since early on that their packs were weighable. They know that they're micrometerable, if that even works. I've heard of some people, the thickness, how much they bend. They know all these things. They bought Millennium Print Group, who prints the stuff. So they print the stuff now. They know everything, and maybe Scarlet Violet transition to 3 hollows per pack was to prevent the whole piping thing. That's speculation. I have no idea, but they will never be able to do anything that just covers all of it. Here's your $50 booster pack that can't be sold in the state of California because it's 10 cards randomly inserted into a lead pamphlet.
Into a lead pamphlet.
That is not coming to a store near you. That is not coming to a Fanatics live stream or an eBay live stream near you. I promise you. Like,
how much shipping would be on that? The thing would weigh about 20 pounds.
Yeah. Walrus says pipped. He's saying pipped instead of piped. Piped means something else to me. Means something to me. Yes. Yikes. We got people talking about crab boils, Joe's Crab Shack. I truly think silver lining to the whole CT scanning thing, especially. It would not surprise me if Fanatics or Heritage or Golden were to work with some company to be able to authenticate their high-end booster boxes that they sell. they sell multi 5-figure boxes relatively regularly, or at least Fanatics used to. Fanatics is on pause right now. Maybe they're done with it forever, but I don't know. That's my take. Do you think, like, I'm going to make this call in 2025? I think there will be someone additionally authenticating. Will they slab it? Will they put a grade on it? I don't know. But I think someone out there will be authenticating through the use of CT scanning for auction booster boxes and booster box cases. I think that will happen by the end of the year.
100%. 100%. Yeah, like you said, 100%. Some company,
Nick said it.
Some auction house, Fanatics, Golden, Heritage, maybe I don't know about eBay. One of those places is going to buy that CT scanning technology or company and use it to authenticate booster boxes.
Not Wars. Brad says, "Wow, I just turned this on and Dan calling people dumb again." A lot of people are really dumb. It's not my fault. I'm just speaking facts. It is what it is. If you think of how dumb the average person is, the median person, half are dumber than that. So, like, it's just a fact of life. It's a fact of life. It's just simple math. So there's that one. Here we go. Greeny, the Green Shiz wants to know, do you guys ship all sales with tracking when valued over 200? It would appear collector insurance only covers above 200 if shipped with signature required. You want to take that one first since I've been taking them all first?
Wait, what? I do tracking on everything. Signature confirmation, I do 750 and above. Just because that's the eBay rule. I don't have the incoming, outgoing insurance. So I don't do anything with that. But I do 750 for signature. Tracking is just everything that gets mailed.
Yeah, because you have ESE for sub 20, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I do tracking on everything as well, because like it just, if you're shipping over 4 ounces, you have to, or if you're shipping over 3 ounces and over $20, you can't use ESE anyways. So I track everything, but I've actually talked a little bit with Josh on this, like through text messages. I have insurance policy. My deductible is high. You're not supposed to really share your insurance limits and your deductibles. Whether it's your car insurance, your home insurance, you really shouldn't be sharing the specifics of your policy with people. Not that anyone here will try to game that. Hopefully,
amount they don't want people to know.
No, I'm not saying your premiums, but like your if you get into a car accident and the first thing you say to the person you were in a car accident with, "Oh, my liability coverage is $1 million." Well, now they know what to tell their lawyers to go after you for. Like, it's just not something. It's not something you're supposed to do. The insurance companies tell you not to. But I have a high deductible to lower my premium. I self-insure up to a certain number. Like, even though I have insurance, I will not submit a claim for like $500, even though theoretically I would be covered for it. Because all they're going to do is they're going to take that claim, they're going to pay it out after my deductible. I mean, it might even be zero at that number because my deductible is so high. But like, they're going to get that back. They're going to get that back. If you have too many of them, they're going to cancel you. Same thing with car insurance. If I get it, if someone scratches my bumper, one, I'm not going to fix it, but I'm not going to claim that. I'm not going to do a $500 claim with my car insurance so that they can raise my premiums $20 a month for the next decade. Like, they're going to get it back and then some. So I see insurance as more of like a, not necessarily like total loss scenario is one. If my house burned down, if some major package got lost, like 6-figure type deal, high 5-figure type deal. But yeah, so I do track everything above 200, similar to Nick, required by eBay. I do signature, required by eBay, required by PayPal. I do 750. I do signature tracking. But other than that, I think that covers everything. Oh, he said signature. I don't do signature at 200. I do it at 750. So again, though, I would self-insure. If a $749 package got lost, my insurance theoretically would cover it. But if you do the math on it, so signature costs like $3. If you put signature on every $749 package that you ship in a year, which depending on who you are, it might be 1, it might be 1,000, who knows? But if you do that every time, that's negative EV. That is inherently negative EV. Because like UPS would have to lose 1 out of 200 packages to where like the break even for that would make sense. If it's a $600 package, it would be 1 out of 200 packages. USPS, I promise you, does not lose 1 out of 200 packages. They don't even lose 1 out of 1,000 packages. So if you run the numbers on it, like they are doing a very good job. UPS, USPS, FedEx, DHL, all of them. Very, very infrequent that packages get lost. But I do insure for like the high end, if anything drastic were to happen.
Yeah. Speaking of mailing, how was your holiday mailing this time of year or during Christmas? Because usually you do notice a lot of people messaging you saying, "Hey, this is taking forever. What's going on?" Or you notice
there was delays,
more packages going missing. But this year there was definitely an increase, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I remember from previous years.
Thankfully, I'm not doing as much B2C, business to consumer. I'm doing more B2B. I'm shipping to Ponga, I'm shipping to PK, I'm shipping to Fanatics, I'm shipping to Z&G Emporium. So I didn't get hit with nearly as much as I ever do historically, but that's because I've changed, not because like the postal service has changed. But I'm in a lot of Discords, and I saw a lot of people posting like, "Hey, my tracking hasn't updated in 3 days. My buyer's claiming this, my buyer's claiming that." Like, felt normal to me, felt like a normal year, but hard to say. So we covered Greenies, and Greenie did follow up with a thank you. And he said, "My insurance would not cover a 250 package that ships without signature required." Like, you do you, but I think everyone should know their risks. They should insure themselves against big financial losses that they can't stomach having. But even if you have an insurance policy, you might be worthwhile self-insuring for some certain range. Like, again, me personally, my car legally required in New York, I have to have, what do they call it? I have to have liability insurance. Since my new minivan is like 40 something grand, I don't want to lose 40 grand. There's a chance that someday I go off the road, I plow into a deer, it's 20 grand, I flip the thing over, I could total that vehicle. I don't want to lose 40 grand. I could swing it, I could pay it, but like, that's more than I want to have to pay. So I pay a few $100 a year to insure my car via collision. But back when I had a $5,000 car, I didn't have collision on it, because a $5,000 car, especially because I was like 20. I was 20, so my rates were way higher because I was a higher risk level back when I used to get more speeding tickets too. So I guess there was a validity to them charging me more. But I didn't used to pay because it would have cost me back in the day, kind of made up numbers, but like kind of close to. I had a $5,000 car that they were trying to charge me $800 a year to insure. It's like, I'm not about to pay that. It's like, one, I'm paying $800 a year. My deductible's $500. It's like, if you do the math on it, I'm gonna have to total my car in 2 years to make it make sense. It's like they're gonna get me thinking like, "Hey, look at that tree. That's awful nice. That'll get me a big check." Like, I didn't even have collision when I had cheap cars like that. But now when you do the math, I'm 34. My rates have come down. I haven't had a ticket in over 10 years. I think I pay like $300 a year now, so less than half the price for a vehicle that's 5-10 times the value. So as with all things, I made a video 2 years ago on insurance and how I think about it, and do the math on it. Do the math and make sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
As with any other thing you do in life. UAP says, how much of PE presumably. Okay, so that's why I like JT. So I like JT because when I first read it, I'm like, Paldea evolved. But then I'm like, no, wait, it's gotta be Prismatic. So how much of Prismatic evolution will the distros be leaving behind the shelves in their vault? I'm sure everyone is a little bit different. I don't really know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was 30%, 40%. It would surprise me if it was half. I don't think they would get away with leaving half behind, but I would be surprised if it was less than like 25%, honestly.
Yeah, I can't stand how they do that. It's so annoying. Because, like, Southern Hobby, we've talked about this before. Southern Hobby is so good. They don't have anything on their website because everything is sold out. But then you go to Mad Al, and they have basically
Limit.
1 feet of current because they set so much stuff back. I can't stand it. And then they have
a distributor.
1 of all your booster boxes.
You've been fooled, Nicholas. I could be wrong here. I'm not trying to call out a distributor that I don't have and I don't know for sure. But I have a distributor who shall remain nameless that there's times where they show they have no inventory, but they have inventory. My guy asked me. My guy's like, hey, do you want this? And I'm like, I don't see that in the stock list. I don't see that in stock in New York. Well, we got a little kicking around. Like that stuff goes on. So I don't know. It's going on more than ever, I'm sure, but there's nothing we can do about it. So like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means exactly. Must be Pongo was pulling a bunch of Giratinas last night. Thoughts on having a Giratina Slayer stream for you? He must be the Giratina Slayer. He must have been. Did he pull one from Lost Origin last night? Pongo, what did you pull? Did you pull the Giratina from Crown Zenith? Or did you pull the big one from Lost Origin? I don't even know. One thing...
It's not even watching their streams. What a terrible boss.
This is actually a good way to pivot into this. One gap that I know. Like, there's so many ways to make money in the hobby today. A couple years ago, we were talking about, like, is it possible for people to make $100,000 a year in Pokemon? And now today it's like, which of these 12 different ways do you want to make $100,000 a year in Pokemon? One big gap that I think we have right now as a stream team, we don't post videos of our hits. We don't do shorts. We don't do reels. You occasionally, I think I've seen Chef do it a couple times. I think I've seen Weedle do it a time or two. But like, if you're doing it, why are you not doing it more? If you're not doing it at all, like, what are your thoughts behind doing that? And do you do that?
I think it's something really, really good to do. Biggest thing for me is I'm lazy. They
Fair.
need to Whatnot has a really good clip feature where you could press a button and it'll clip. Well, I guess you wouldn't know what to clip. You'd have to like clip every single pack. But I wish there was a way you can just press a button and it would clip like the last minute. Because right now you have to write down the time that you pulled that card, go back and find it afterwards, screen record it, and then edit it and upload it. So I'll just take pictures of the hits that we get. But that is something that I do think is something that you should ideally be doing is anytime you pull something really good, post like an Instagram reel or Instagram story of whatever hit.
So I'm looking up something right now because I'm getting called out in the chat. So I did not say I pay $300 a year in car insurance. I think people misheard me. Maybe I misspoke. I'm talking about, so in New York, I have to have liability insurance. So like the premium that I'm paying over what I legally have to have is approximately $300. I'm verifying right now on the other screen on my car insurance thing to see exactly what I'm paying. So for collision, I apologize, guys. Everyone who's calling me out, I apologize. I was wrong. I'm paying $210 a year for collision. So like I legally have to have this. I have to have liability no matter what. In New York, you have to. You have to have liability. You have to have uninsured motorist, all these stupid things. But for collision so this is on my Sportage, to be fair. Let me double check what the Carnival is. $260. No, that's comprehensive. I was wrong. So the $20,000 vehicle, I'm paying, what did I say? $2 something a year. I'm paying $330 a year. $165 for a 6-month policy times 2 for the year. So I'm paying $330 a year to insure a $40,000 vehicle for full coverage with $1,000 deductible. I know I just said you're not supposed to talk about it, but I don't think anyone's going to come crash into my minivan in upstate New York. But yeah, I legally have to have this. I'm not saying my entire policy is $300 a year. I'm saying the premium I'm paying to get collision on my $40 vehicle is $300. I was wrong. I apologize. It's $330. So yes. And if you do the math on that, like the math is simple. If I crash that car, and obviously depreciation over time, blah, 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 who cares? The math on that, though, is like, if it's $300 in one instance of totaling the vehicle is 130 times that. 40,000 is roughly 130 times that. If I total my car once every 130 years, that would be the break even for carrying that policy, minus the deductible. So maybe once every 100 years. I think that's a pretty reasonable insurance. I think I drive pretty safely, especially now that I have kids, yada, yada, yada. But like, that's, to me, my mathematics. I consciously made the decision to like, let me add full coverage collision onto my policy. But it blows my mind that like, some people don't know what their insurance is. When I was younger, I used to pay. So right, I'm in my policy. Who cares? I'm just gonna share it. Me and my wife, we pay. So everything for 2 vehicles, full insurance, full collision, full everything. We pay $1,800 a year. So we pay $900 per vehicle, and some amount of like the liability is the big part. Because if you total a minivan and you total it into another minivan, there might be $1 million worth of medical bills, and the vehicle's only 40 grand. So it's like, that's the cheap part. The expensive part is the liability towards other people's vehicles. If you run that $40,000 minivan into a $500,000 Lamborghini, not many of which are out and about in the county that I live in upstate New York, but that's where the big money is. Similar on your homeowners. It's like you can have a homeowner's policy that's only liability. If someone gets injured, covers it, whatever. But like, I have a policy that covers everything. I want to say, someone's going to call me out in chat and say that's way too low. That's not real. I think I pay $400 a year for my entire house, liability, everything. If my house were to burn to the ground, I pay $400 a year for that. Maybe 500. I could be wrong. Anyways, this was the insurance ranting section. Thank you, Greeny, for getting me going on all that. Let's see if we can pivot into some Pokemon.
Thanks, Greeny. Really appreciate you.
Shout out to Greeny. What are these jokers on about? I'm sorry, Retro. Less than 12 hours ago, I was doing this on YouTube. Maybe a little over 12 hours now. But he pulled the big Giratina last week, must be, and then 2 or 3 golds.
Nice.
I'm going to round out a couple comments on the auto insurance thing, but that's the same way it is in New York. Geico won't take my money year by year. They make me do every 6 months, which is kind of annoying. It's like, just take my whole money for the whole year, give me a couple % discount, and I'll pay it all in one go. But it's easy enough. They do like ACH. They do an electronic check debit, whatever. I don't have to manually do it. It's just automatically done. Anyways, though, my wife offered to do it, and you said you would pay a percentage of video revenue, which is 4 cents. I will give her 100%.
You're putting in all that time for not a lot of payout.
Ponga, if your wife is interested, I will pay her 110%. I will pay her similar as I do on Fanatics. So if you can sign with me through Fanatics, if you sell a $5,000 card, I pay you 114% of Hammer. Ponga, if your wife wants to do shorts from your streams, if she wants to edit clips from your hits, I will pay her 114% of what that video receives in revenue. So that's a pretty tantalizing offer.
No,
I will lose money. I will lose money. I mean,
you're going to lose like pennies a year.
if that short makes 10 cents, if it pops off, gets 100,000 views and make 10 cents, I will give you 11.4 cents. So
which short on your channel has more than like 20 views?
It's funny. I post, so I cross post. I do a TikTok, which maybe at some point I have to stop that or I'll go to jail or something. I think it's getting banned soon. I do a TikTok, a short, and an Instagram reel. And the shorts get like 500 to 1,000 views. The reels do a lot better. The reels get like 2,000 to 10,000 views. Same videos. You can simultaneously stream on Fanatics. I tried it once and I screwed it up. Maybe Ponga and PK should look into that in the future. I don't know if they'd want to. Well, Ponga doesn't really have. He has Box Nostalgia with Bierski, but I don't know if he'd want to simulcast that on his YouTube channel. I don't know if PK would want to clutter up his main one. Maybe he'd create a secondary one, but that is an option. I think eBay Live, though, do they still not allow that?
No, you can do it. Like Probstein does it. He'll be live on Instagram doing his eBay lives. I don't know. It's kind of stupid though. I don't think I would ever do it because you're just ignoring YouTube chat. I would never look at what people on YouTube are saying. It's just a way to bring people from YouTube over to eBay.
Yeah. Danazard says, why don't you add a recorder to your machine if Fanatics eBay doesn't offer it in-app? So Fanatics does retain, and I believe eBay does retain the recordings as well, but OBS is what both Ponga and PK use. It's what I use myself. You can simultaneously, like, you can record locally if you want to as well, to have a secondary one for if you're going to make edits. I don't know if Ponga and PK do record those locally, but they definitely could if they wanted to. You use OBS and eBay Live as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can it does record and I can access it. The biggest thing is finding that clip in a 6-hour stream. You just have to be careful to write down the time of the stuff that you pull. That's the only thing.
You just have to make sure that you scream when it happens, and then when you're going through the audio recording,
there we go.
You can see the big spike in your audio. So if you're reacting properly, it's evident anyways.
I don't know if that would work for me though, because I scream no matter what.
Garen said he's missed us. These goat trails we end up going down, low key crack me up. Geez, this guy's flexing insurance now. Hobbies peaking hard. 2024 was a year of top signals. The amount of top signals that we had, and in spite of that, we just went up and up and up. Absolutely wild. My dad investing. I won't even be able to think of all the top signals that we experienced, but I'm sure more to come. And which one will be the one that breaks the camel's back, that makes the house of cards fall? I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Here we go. Garen says, on a side note, my 90 days looking beautiful, and it started with all the rookie questions I was asking you fellas for the past few years. So for that, I thank you. Congrats, as Mr. Walrus said as well. And we thank you. We thank you for hanging out here with us. Whether you're here live or whether you're watching back, we always appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, congrats on your sales. That's exciting. That is exciting.
Kiki Jiki says, babe, I'll be to bed soon. I just need to clip all these hits after I finish getting 100 orders boxed up.
Exactly.
Honestly, maybe the biggest top signal to start out 2025 is that Dan bought 2 PC ETBs. So watch out. I might have just, if the market dies in the next week or month, it was me. It was me buying PC ETBs. And I blame all of you equally for trying to talk me into it and then succeeding.
I actually bought a bunch of PC ETBs. I did a PC.
I saw that collection buy that you did.
Saturday. That was nice. I scammed some sucker out of those.
What did you pay, like 70% or something?
What was that?
What did you pay, like 70% or something?
I gave him like 40%. No, I think I paid. It was just over 75.
Oh, you said it was Walrus you bought them from?
Yeah.
Walrus paper handing PC ETBs, like the blue chip investment of our age.
Hey, he did quite well on those.
I'd imagine he did. That's those things are nuts.
But I ran one of each that Saturday after I bought them. And I was a little bit nervous I figured 151 would do decent because it was a popular set. Paldea Evolved I thought would do okay because it's got the cool Pikachu promo, plus Paldea Evolved is actually a good set. The one I was really scared about was Obsidian Flames because you have the Charmander promo, but the set itself is garbage.
It's
And that one actually
$1,000
did.
PSA 10 promo though. It's $1,000 PSA 10 promo.
Yeah, but people on the lives, it's tough. It's tough. But no, they all actually did pretty well. Paldea Evolved and Obsidian Flames went for it was like $20-$30 less than what you would get through like TCG Player or eBay Buy It Now. But everything else did really good. So I was happy about that.
Nice.
Hmm.
That's solid. Yeah, for Walrus's side, like no shipping, no salty buyer. Hey, this little fingernail imprint, this little wrapper's a little bit loose, a little bit weird. It's just like done, over with. Wipe your hands of it.
Yeah,
and then root for Nick to get wrecked. That's all you got to do. Ponga, if you want to sell your own PC ETBs in the streams, like I don't have many to compete with you. I had a handful that I bought in various collections over the years. But yeah, have at it, as you know.
Don't be a coward. Dollar auction.
I've had them do that with some of mine, but I don't know if they'll do that with theirs though. So we have a system. We have a system where like they can sell their own stuff, and then they just tell me at the end of the stream, like, "Hey, I sold this, I sold that." They put it in the title. They put like PO or whatever in the title, and it's a pretty easy system. If they do it as an auction, it's a little bit messier, where it doesn't stand out. It doesn't have its own name. I guess theoretically you could, but yeah, today's price is tomorrow's discount. So BB's selling his for 110%. I like the diamond hands. I like it. Oh no, we're not fully caught up. Chat BN says predictions for when Pokemon eventually makes several Shrouded Fables in a row.
Ugh.
Things will get dark. Things will get dark and it's crazy because like when Scarlet Violet started, people were like, Scarlet Violet base, this sucks. Paldea Evolve, this sucks. It's like we want evolving. We want 151, or we want not 151. We want Crown Zenith. We want all the Sword and Shield sets. We want the altars. And then the first 4 or 5 sets of Scarlet Violet, people were like, "Oh, it's over. Pokemon killed the hobby. When are these things going to be investable again?" And now, since we're a year later and everything is the same, but everything's changed apparently, those things are like $200 booster boxes now, $150 booster boxes, because we're just in this insane mania. But I could see the reception for the start of next block being like, blah. Like, hey, we just had Surging, we had Prismatic, we had Journey Together, we had Team Rocket. And then you drop this crap on us. The pull rates are too good. The pull rates are too bad. The quality's too good. The quality's too bad. People are going to cry for some reason. People are going to be down on the era overall as a whole. And then 30th anniversary comes and they do 251. They do Evolutions 2.0, whatever they do. They're going to like win us all back. It ebbs and it flows. The market's insane. Demand is fickle. Consumers are fickle. That's my long rant on that. What's your takes on that?
I do agree to some extent. But then Shrouded Fable, it's such a terrible set. It's awful. It's so bad. Like, yes, people were complaining about Scarlet and Violet in the beginning, but you had good cards. You had cool artworks. Shrouded Fable, you have what do you have? You have the Houndoom or the Houndour illustration rare, and that's it. That's the only good card in that set. Yeah, I that is a garbage set.
Ponga's calling Shrouded 7 per pack by January 2026. Ponga's bullish. Invest now.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Shrouded Fable was once the best set of all time. Every time a new set drops, it is the best set of all time. So Shrouded has its time in the sun.
Yes. I did forget about the Persian. That's also a really good card.
Chat BN said you were like that with Scarlet Violet base. You were one of the naysayers. You were one of the
I was.
This all sucks. Man's a flip-flopper. Now that he's Now that he's selling them live every night on eBay, he's got to pump them. Got to pump his
Scarlet by the
bags.
base is not sold.
I actually, with the year end, I am accrual basis. Most people benefit from being cash, but I am accrual. I was doing a pack inventory. I have like 3,000 loose packs of Shrouded Fable. Plus, I forget off the top of my head whatever PK and Ponga have. I still have some like sleeve boosters. I think I still have some bundles. I have too much Shrouded Fable. I'm not excited about it.
You'll be loving it if Ponga's right. $7 a pack.
Stevie TCG loves when you say something's terrible. Feelings are so strong. Pandito says negativity always starts at the beginning of new eras. Gen 10s due around next year, probably be teased in February during the next Pokemon Live. I've heard people speculate that we might do like a Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So most blocks are like 12 sets plus specialty sets. So most sets are like 15, 16 sets. Most eras, most blocks. But Heart Gold, Soul Silver was weird. You had like base, Undaunted, Triumphant, and one more. One. I think there's only 4. And then you had Call of Legends to cap it off.
Unleashed.
And then you went Unleashed. That's right. So you had like 4. You had like a quarter of a block, and then one specialty set to cap it off. Call of Legends, if you can call Call of Legends specialty. It did have booster boxes, but like, I'll be interested. I've heard a lot of people speculating that they'll do one of those mini blocks in between this and the next one. I don't know entirely what they're basing that off of. I don't know if the claims are valid or not, but it'll be interesting to see. But we are due in roughly the next year and a half. We're due for the next block. We're due for it. So I'm excited to see what Gen 10 is, what Pokemon it brings. I still remember. I don't remember what Collecticon it was, but I remember I was in a hotel room with you and a few other people, and the pings were going off in Discord and wherever. And I remember when I first laid eyes on my boy Quaxley. And I've been a fan ever since. So who knows what the next gen's gonna bring?
It's wild to think we're almost through this gen. It feels like it just started.
You remember Radar's Instagram story?
I do not. No.
So he posted a few months ago, like, if you're not streaming, if you're not live on YouTube, if you're not doing live streams of some sort, you're missing out.
I do remember that. Yes.
And then ever since then, we've been strapped to a rocket going into new galaxies. So Radar's got that insider info. I mean, he's been all over the place. He's been working at Whatnot. He's been at TikTok. He's been everywhere in behind the scenes. Radar might be the one pulling the strings on the marionettes. I don't know.
I mean, puppet master.
He did partner with me on this too.
Oh my god!
Did he know that was coming? I have to show these. I have to show these in every stream. Did Radar know? He must have known. Somehow he knew. He must have. Radar, what's coming next? Rub that crystal ball. Let us know what's coming next.
Crystal ball.
There's only 80 of us in here. I will delist this. I will end the live, delist it. Just tell us quickly. And then we'll end it all, scrub it all from the internet. Let us know what's coming. What do we buy? So there's a couple comments piling up. But yeah, let me grab this one quick. Ponga says, pretty sure leaks show ZA and another main Pokemon game this year, so might just be the next generation. I've heard different things. People love to speculate, and I try to not get too caught up in the noise. But I'm so online everywhere that I hear and I read it and I see it a bunch. But yeah, I don't know. Dan told his kids to bury him in a suit and a felt hat. with one felt hat, arms crossed, felt hat under my hands, grasping the Quaxley in the other.
Are you just keeping that? You're not gonna sell that one?
This one's coming with
me. 2 months now.
This one's coming with me to conventions. This one is going to be a black label. This one, his parents told him when he grows up, he could be anything he wants, and he wants to be a black label. So this one I'm going to review into a black. It's a one away. It's a 10. All BGS 10s are only one away from a black label. So
Yeah,
it's
but
three
which
10s and a
one's 900?
9.5. It's corners, and the corners look. So I have two right here. So one has, these two both have corners. I have three here, I think. Where'd the other one go? Okay, here it is. So I have one that's 9.5 centering. I think the 9.5 centering's fair. But the one that has 10 corners, it has the same corners as the two that have 9.5 corners. So I'm going to bring them these three, and I'm going to say, hey, here's $75. I'm going to say, trade me $75 for $20,000.
Yeah.
Because if they black label one of them one time, it's 10 or 20 plus grand. It's absurdity. Like, I could sell these today for $1,500, $2,000. I don't know how much. But I do have one for sale with James. I kind of wanna turn one of these into a black label though.
That'd be wild. I wonder what, because there's only one right now, right? Is that still the case? I wonder what a black label would sell for. That'd be a wild auction.
John says when he runs out of money buying things, he'll tell us all. Ponga has tracking on his PC ETBs from Prismatic. Sangwanda talking about how they're getting ready to ship.
Oh
yeah, so all your free money is coming to your doorstep soon.
That'll be exciting.
Don't look at trackers, just obsess over subgrades for months. I mean, they're sitting here. I have one for sale, so I have 4 of them. I have one for sale. It hasn't sold yet. When one sells, another one will probably go and be listed for sale at a premium to that. But I'm gonna keep the cleanest 2, and I've got to try at least once or twice. It's like throw a couple $100 at it. If it happens, literally make 5 figures plus. And then if it doesn't happen, you lose a few, like $100. Like, big deal. In the time since I haven't sold them, they've doubled in price too. So it's like, if that starts going the other way, maybe I'll be more likely to let me move them on out. But for right now, it's like, let me hold on to that hope. So Fort Lauderdale, we talked for a second pre-stream. I'm gonna pull up the Collecticon schedule. Fort Lauderdale Collecticon is March 29th and 30th of 2025. For anyone checking your fiscal calendars, that is the end of Q1 2025. For anyone that follows me, for anyone that follows our favorite cryptid-based trading card game of old, I think, and MetaZoo actually announced in their Discord that they will be there. So when I first looked at Collecticon calendar, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to do a Chicago. There's 2. I'm definitely going to do a New Jersey. There's 2, but I don't know which. So I was looking like mid-April, there's a Chicago. I don't think I'm going to do LA. I don't think I'm going to do Atlanta. Those are the first 2. So it's like MetaZoo is going to be there, and it's Florida, not in June, not in May, like Orlando is. I went to that last year. I was not a fan of Orlando in May or 2 years ago, whenever it was. I might do Fort Lauderdale Collecticon because MetaZoo is going to be there. It's going to be cold up here. It's going to be nice down there. Are you going to go? What's your Collecticon schedule looking like?
I haven't even thought of it. Definitely both Chicago's. But yeah, no, I wish, I don't know, maybe, possibly. I wish they weren't so close together, like Fort Lauderdale and Chicago. That's like a 2-week turnaround time. We'll see though. We'll see. But yeah, no, the only 2 Collecticons I know that I'll go to is those 2 Chicago's. Aside from that, I have not thought about Collecticon at all. I was talking with James the other day about Atlanta, and that got me thinking about going to that one, but I don't know. We'll see.
With 18 of them in a year, there are so many like 2-week turnarounds. I don't think there's back-to-back anywhere, but there are tons of 2-week turnarounds. Yeah. And I'm similar with some of them. I'll actually, give me 1 second. Now I'll pull it right up on screen. We might as well have our unfortunately not sponsored segment where we're always talking about the upcoming Collecticons. Maybe someday, but not yet. Let me get this pulled up. So I present Share screen. Holy Windows. I have way too many windows open. So this should be working. So Atlanta, I can't do actually. My wife is traveling, so I definitely am not going to Atlanta. You're not going either?
I'm up in the air. Most likely no.
LA,
That's a
I just don't see it happening. It's so far away. Yeah, LA is probably not going to happen for me either. Miami was the first one, and it's like, if I don't do Miami, Chicago could happen because I'm going to do one of them, but I'm leaning more towards the fall one. So I might do this first. You're doing this regardless, right? Like, even if you add this, you would still do this.
Yeah.
Because it's down the road. Houston, Orlando for me, they don't feel super likely. I forget exactly when, but like obviously this is one convention thing. Like there's Card Party, there's Front Row Card Show. There's so many other card shows. This is just the biggest one that we go to a bunch. But I don't see myself doing Houston, especially if I did Miami, because it's like less than a month away. Yeah. But then we get into Cleveland is drivable for me. Are you doing Dallas, Orlando, Houston, any of those or no?
I don't think so.
What about Cleveland? How far is that for you?
That's not a terrible drive. I want to say it's probably like a 6-hour drive. Maybe.
That's what it is for me too, ish.
So that would make sense then. Maybe a little bit closer.
Look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now. 5.5 hours it says.
So would it be?
So I'll see you there then.
Cleveland, Ohio. What is that? Oh, that looks so far. Yeah, 5.5 hours. That's not bad. So yeah, probably that one. Probably do that one, yeah.
But then the issue arises that 2 weeks later, Beerski-a-Palooza 2, I believe, is going down this weekend. This is also drivable for me. It is nice. I forget when the last day of school is. I think my family will be out of school by then. But like one thing that I'm doing, 2025 will be the year of not shipping business to customer anymore. I'm only going to be shipping B2B. So like on June 25th, I'm going to chuck out a box to Fanatics. I'm going to chuck a box to Z&G Emporium on eBay. I'm going to chuck a box to PK and Ponga, probably a couple boxes to both those guys. And I'm going to like start a little mini vacation with Cleveland. And then I think my family's going to go do something. Maybe we'll do Niagara Falls. Maybe on the way out, we'll just get there and then do CollectCon for the weekend. And on the way back, midpoint is like Niagara Falls. We might do like a family thing at Niagara Falls for a week, like for a week off. That would be really cool. It's hard to do that when you have one-day handling on all your eBay orders and you're shipping out 20 a day, whatever it may be, and you're doing your daily listings. But 2025 is going to be the year that I don't have that anymore. If I do that, though, what that means is, one, July 4th is in there, which is fine. I normally don't do a ton for July 4th, but usually just set off some fireworks, watch a fireworks show, have some beers, eat some steaks, all of which I could do elsewhere too. But I definitely would not be in Canada. So if I go to Niagara Falls, I will not be in Canada. I had my lights red, white, and blue last night in the background. I will be in the United States of America on July 4th, definitely. But if I go to Niagara Falls, I would do the Canadian side probably, but I will not be over there for the 4th. I wouldn't miss that as a good American wouldn't.
Hey, you never know. Canada might be a state coming up soon.
Oh God. Oh no, it's getting political. We're in trouble now. I've seen. I don't follow the news really, but I've seen some memes about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No, I've seen it. I've seen stuff about it. Greenland and Canada and whatever else. I don't see any of it happening, but
absolutely.
New Jersey. You're probably not doing New Jersey if I had to guess, especially if you're doing Cleveland.
Not that New Jersey, possibly the one later, because that's the week before I go on vacation. So I'll skip that one.
So I want to do both. If I do Cleveland to kick off a week-long trip, that means that it won't be 2 weeks apart. It'll literally be the week after I get done with my little Cleveland shindig. So that'll be tight. but it'll be a good way to kick off summer. I could see me doing both and having both be like a family event. If I did New Jersey this year, which I want to, I might tie in like Hershey Park or something. I think my kids are getting to the age where a Hershey Park or a Six Flags New England or something like that could be fun to add to a New Jersey week-long trip.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's right there, but it's like close-ish. Richmond feels unlikely for me, mainly because I almost definitely going to do Charlotte. Are you doing Charlotte? When is Gen Con 2020? I think we looked up Gen Con 2025.
August, like the very end of July, beginning of August.
July 31st to August 3rd. So you're going to do back-to-backs with Gen Con into Charlotte.
If I don't know if the Gen Con will happen again.
All comes down to
even if I don't get invited by eBay, I'll probably still go because that was fun last year. So yeah, it'll probably be back to back. Yeah, Gen Con's 3 hours away, 2-3 hours, something like that.
So yeah, like I might do Miami, and then I'm probably gonna do Cleveland and New Jersey because they're drives. They're probably gonna be like family affairs. Charlotte, as confident as I can be that I'm doing that one. Definitely not Kansas City. I want to do it some year. I know people meme on it. People hate on it. I hear the barbecue's good. I will do Kansas City some year. This year, it just conflicts with my personal calendar, so I can't.
Kansas City's another maybe because that's another drivable one for me.
So you might do the meme one. You might go there.
Yes.
Atlanta 2, I almost definitely won't do because this is it is 3 weeks apart. Actually, that's 4 weeks, isn't it? That's 4 weeks apart. I will almost definitely do Fall Chicago. And then I don't think I'll do any of I'll do any Texas ones in 2025.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so.
But you'll definitely be doing that, right?
Yep, for sure.
And then
possibly that one, New Jersey.
That's the weekend before Thanksgiving. Weather could theoretically be like a factor, probably not, but it like could be upstate New York at least. I lean towards no, but it is so close that like I might YOLO that one last minute. I don't see myself doing that one, but yeah, like that's like a maybe, a definite. So 2, 3, 4. That's like 5.5 Collecticons. So that's, and I want to do Card Party West, Seattle, Pacific Northwest, whatever they're calling it. It's going to be a busy year.
Yeah, a lot of events. I would like to do Card Party, that Card Party too. I think that'd be fun.
I don't even know if it's in Kansas City, Kansas or Kansas City, Missouri. But yeah, Kansas City does not even know what state it's in. Oh, man. I'm so excited, though. Let me pull up Card Party just to show that, too. I forget where that one filters in. But let me...
I want to say it's summer for the Florida, yeah.
So June 27th to 29th for Tampa is the same weekend as Cleveland. So I'm definitely not doing Card Party 1. I've been to Florida in May and June. I'm not a Florida in May and June guy. I'm not built for it. I sweat too much. October 3rd to 5th. Oh, I remember now. That's what's tough. What? So that is the weekend before Fall Chicago.
Oh, that's fine.
So October
fine for me, 5th, not fine for you.
It's tough. October 3rd to 5th, then Chicago. That's very tough. I might have to choose. PNW Card Party or Chicago.
I would say choose. I don't know. I would almost say choose Card Party.
I'm leaning that way. I had a blast. I've had a blast at every event I went to. Card Party? No. I had a blast at Chicago last year. CollectiCon. So like I know I would have a blast if I went to Chicago. I'll have tons of friends. I'll know tons of people going to Chicago. But the same will apply to Card Party. I'll know a ton of people going to both. I'll know a ton of people going to just Card Party and a ton of people going to just CollectiCon. So there's a solid shot I'll have to pick. If I don't, there's a chance that like maybe I go to Card Party for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I do like a one night Chicago. I literally like fly in Saturday morning, fly out Sunday night or something. That could happen because it's a short flight, but I'll have to see. We'll see though. I have not paid any attention to chat in a minute, so let's see where we're at.
Gore, how do you say his name? Garochu collects.
Garochu collects.
Do we think Cleveland will suffer from Card Party? Was going to do a road trip for Mass. I almost there is going to be some overlap, yes, between Card Party and Collecticon, but I almost don't think there's much overlap. Card Party is more so. There are vendors at Card Party, but Card Party is more so like a Pokemon Worlds type of thing, where you're hanging out with people and there's different panels and stuff to go to. So from what I've never done Card Party either, so I could be completely wrong. But I see Card Party as more so like a hangout, a lot more families there, whereas Collecticon is strictly business, and then obviously you're hanging out with people that you know who go there. So I don't think there's a ton of overlap. Yes, there's going to be a little bit, but I can't see there being like Collecticon suffering sales wise because of Card Party going on the same weekend.
Yeah, I think, and I could be wrong. I don't have like data to support this. Only anecdotal data when I ask people like, "Oh, are you from around here, or did you travel to get here?" Obviously, your KetchumAllCollectibles, your old school Pokemons, your ZNG Emporiums, your like the businesses, the influencers, whatever, they travel to a lot of these events. But the vast majority of the people on the floor, I would say even the majority of people vending, are locals. So like a lot of people that go to Cleveland are in and around Cleveland within a 6-hour driving radius. You're going to have Chicagoans driving in. You're going to have people from Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse. You're going to have people from Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Like you're going to have people in the vicinity driving in. That's significantly more percentage of the attendees of these things. So both can happen at the same time, and it's not going to be a huge deal. That's my take. But like, if your favorite creator is Super Duper Danny, she probably can't be at both. Or like Old School Pokemon probably can't and won't be at both, right? So attendance will be affected to some extent. Same thing goes for signers too. I don't think Card Party really does signers, but like if two big events ever butt heads, people can't be in two places at once, right? So it's going to have some effect, but generally speaking, it won't have much effect at all, in my opinion, because most of the attendee is just local, drivable.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We are the exception in so many ways, Collecticons included. Like for us, for people in our little bubble, people in our little community, to get a Airbnb together and to go and to stay and play kickball down at the park, and like that's an exceptional thing. Not everyone that goes to Collecticons doing that. A lot of people are. Some of that's going on for sure, but like the majority of it is like walk-ins from the city that it's in, or it's people driving from a few hours around for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely true there.
Here we go. We got the only Rainbow Gym. Shout out Rainbow Gym. She is the reason. She is the reason this play happened. I appreciate her very much.
Rainbow Gym, I hate you now. We're never gonna hear the end of this.
I need to get a very nice gift that I don't want to spoil it, but it may or may not include, maybe not a BGS 10, but it may or may not include one of the 400 copies that we got from that play of all plays.
You're not going to gift her the black label you'll eventually get?
I mean, I appreciate her. I appreciate her very much. I don't appreciate her that much. I don't appreciate myself that much. I can't keep that for myself. I mean, that baby's getting sold. So Rainbow Gym's going to be at Card Party and Chicago October. So, which if she's international, she's going to come in for like multiple weeks. I'm assuming she's not going back home in between. Like, but we'll see. I might be able to pull both. Ponga's going to divorce me. He's going to quit the stream team if I don't make it to either Chicago, probably. Boy. So
you might have to make it Chicago then.
I might have to figure one of those out. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go grab my sweatshirt. It's
Okay.
chilling here.
Daddy Donkey Kong says, Dan, did you ask PK to delete his videos where he talks about resealing packs and booster boxes before having him stream for you? I mean, I've talked many times on this channel about the potential scams that are out there. I did not ask him to delete any videos, nor Ponga, nor anyone else. I don't ask them to talk about or not talk about certain things. I do not have any concern with PK or Ponga that they would ever do anything bad. I think it's good that they know and they arm their followings and they arm their communities with like, this could happen. This could be a thing. We're not doing it, but like, this could be a thing. If we were doing it, would PK have pulled 10 of the chase Pikachus from not Crown Zenith, from Surging Sparks? Like the amount of pulls we've gotten, I hope that no one, like, if you have any question, if you have any doubts, if you have any concern whatsoever, don't buy from us. But like, I would hope the people that are, and the people that are pulling a lot of the big hits we're pulling, I would hope they have no concern whatsoever. So no, I did not ask him. As far as I understand, I don't think he's deleted anything. If he did, that would be news to me. And I would not have asked him to do that. Dote says, I got my felt hat Pika in October for 100 cash and it hit the 10. Not to brag, but I'm up a higher percent than you, Dan. As Warren Buffett always says, it's easier to 10x a million than it is to 10x a billion. It's easier to 6x a $100 bill than a $50,000 bill. So, not to brag, but I mean, absolute terms matter though too. My percentage isn't as good, but if I can double 50K, I would take that any day. It's so crazy too. And I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing as you were, Doe. I think you know that. But we're so lucky. Like, I don't think, Doe, you were big braining it. I don't think you knew the PSA 10 was going to be $600. If you did, you probably would have. He says, blah, blah, blah. I win. But yeah, I got so lucky. That card could have fallen 30% in the time since we're making this play. It doubled. We got really lucky. We're going to make way more money than we should have made, than we forecasted making. We knew that the card could go up. We know that the card could go down. And John and I talked about it. I had a spreadsheet out. I did the math. I'm like, what if it goes up 20%? What if it goes down 20%? Nowhere did we look at what happens if it goes down 50% or doubles. We didn't even forecast for those outcomes because we didn't think either were possible, or at least not probable enough to think about. So we got so lucky. It's obscene.
Yeah, exactly.
Rainbow Jin says it's difficult on what to bring versus running out of stuff for the second show. Just make sure you're buying. Make sure you're buying some. I think if it were the other way, I think you would be better off. I think you would be better if Collecticon was first and Card Party was second. I could be wrong here. I've never been to a card party, but if I had to guess, I would presume sourcing is better at a Collecticon, and I would think the ratio of selling to buying is more towards selling at card party and more towards buying at Collecticon. What are your thoughts on that? I could be wrong, but I think that's the way it would be.
I would assume so.
Yeah, card party is definitely different. I've heard, I've seen, but I haven't experienced it yet. I'm excited to see it. Rainbow Jim says, you might win on the Pika only. I win on my whole collection. Never expected what happened the last 4 to 5 years. Yeah, it's so nuts. My whole inventory, my whole collection, the amount of gains that it's all seen is just obscene to me. I can't believe it. Life-changing it's been, based on mostly luck. I knew the card had, like I knew what the card was. In a lot of ways, it has good fundamentals, English only, nice art, tying in with like the former Scream cards, tying in with like other cards of that same series or whatever. But like, it has kind of bad fundamentals too. 30,000 PSA 10 pop is kind of leaning more towards a bad fundamental, right? I I felt confident in the play. I felt confident I was going to make several $1,000s. I was not confident I was going to make multiple 5 figures.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's, yeah, a lot of it was luck. But luck is when preparation meets opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Pokemage says, I bought a case of Journey Together booster boxes. Am I smart now? Yes.
I do wonder what is pricing gonna look like on booster boxes. I wonder. Because the ones from Pokemon Center sold out so quickly.
But I think a lot of that was the presumption that the enhanced booster box was unique, that the box topper was unique, which
maybe
it might still be. It sounds like every box has box toppers. Pokebeach could be wrong. Pokebeach is right a lot of the time, almost all the time, I think. But it would not be the first time, I don't think, if they were wrong. But if those Pokemon Center booster boxes are like the PC ETBs and they have a special stamp on the outside of the box, or they have a special logo on the wrapping, or they have like inside of it, the booster case is different, even if it's not the box, if the booster case is different, or if those cards have the Pokemon Center stamp, that could be huge. And it'll be 2 different products. It'll be 2 different values, 2 different products entirely, like ETBs to PC ETBs are now.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
It will be.
Rainbow Jim's going to buy a bunch of US only items while she's here, and jumbo cards. Almost nobody brings them. It's so funny walking around and asking for jumbo cards. That's funny. So there's one question a little bit ago I glossed over. I missed. Sorry, Dope. But cracking a slab from a recent PSA return. Slab is slightly different. Has a slight bevel to the frosted area around the card. Hard as hell to crack too. Feels softer when cracking. Weird. Do you crack cards much anymore? Have you noticed? No.
No, I do not. I have. What have I heard? No, I forget what I heard. I think that was a different company some company is really hard to crack. I don't think it was PSA though.
I have heard and I have experienced. I've cracked a couple. Like here, I have some 9 certs with me. It's hard to describe. Like when you go to crack them, they're not as brittle. They don't shatter as quickly. They flex more. They bend more. I would say it's an adjustment. I've cracked a bunch of the old slabs. I've cracked a handful of the new ones. It's an adjustment, but like I wouldn't call it hard. Maybe you're using the wrong tools. I still use I probably have them here. I use a pair of cutting pliers. These are not the ones I normally use. These are like tin metal snips. These do work though. I mean you cut the corner, well you cut this corner, and then you do a flathead screwdriver or a butter knife. You go across the label. You don't pry down towards the card. I was just talking to somebody in Discord who destroyed a card because they went this way. But you take off both the corners, and then you go across the label parallel to the card, so you can't possibly hit the card. You make sure that while you're doing it, the 2 halves don't snap back together. Otherwise, you'll crimp the card somewhere if it moves. But I used these last time I cracked them. Oh, here they are. These are the ones I normally use. I use just normal cutting pliers. And then a flathead screwdriver, a handy dandy Stanley flathead screwdriver. So here are my tools of choice. I damaged one on a live stream one time, but I have damaged very few cards ever. I still have that Vileplume somewhere. I maybe it got live streamed. I might have sent that. I might have sent that to PK to live stream. I sent him a bunch of damaged cards that I had in a pile, but practice on cheap slabs. Practice on cheap ones, and it's pretty easy to get the hang of, I think.
Yeah.
Don't go practicing on your gray felt hats and your Moonbryons and your ponchos and things like that. Slabs are aplenty. Chat BN wants to know, what do you think about taking advantage of the Prismatic hype and trading a couple Prismatic ETBs I'm getting for MSRP for a Mega Blastoise XY Evolutions ETB?
I do like Evolution. I do like that one. The Evolution Blastoise. I like those ones. I would say go for it. I wouldn't value your prismatic set MSRP. But if you're valuing them at whatever market is, I would say go for it.
Yeah, trades are tedious. Trades are like hard to find, but if they pop up, if you find the right person with the right things and you have the right thing they want, yeah, like do it. If you value that more, if you're asking like future value, which one's gonna go up more, I don't know. That's crystal ball type stuff, and I'm not holding. Well, I am holding. I'm holding on a pallet prismatic ETBs. I have no evolutions ETBs, so. As far as like which one would I do? Well, I'm actively doing one and I'm not doing the other. So I like the 2 prismatic ETBs, not necessarily at 150 each, but like at the cost that I'm getting them, or at 80% or 70% of market price.
Mm-hmm.
I have tons of jumbos too. Like I don't know what kind of jumbos you're talking about, Rainbow Jim. If you're talking about like actual scarce one, there's some vintage ones that actually have some value. If you just want like a fat stack of the regular jumbos that are in all of our collection boxes, I can I'll make a note. If you want a fat stack of those, I can bring a stack. I have a lot. That can go into the gift basket from the Gray Felt hat play.
There we go. There we go.
Let's see. Oh, someone asked that earlier. We missed it. Thank you, Chat BN, for bringing that question back up. Rainbow's gonna have all the jumbo she needs. Grimer, me, BB. Gonna be a lot of jumbos floating around Collecticon. I listen to Nat Turner whenever he pops up. I've listened to him on a lot of sports podcasts. I've listened to him a lot of different places when PK had him on, and the whole "Don't Be Dumb" fiasco popped up. I like listening to him talk. I like hearing from inside the man behind the company. He's mentioned multiple times that they've been through multiple slab iterations over the past couple of years. They've been trying different things. So there's been more than one change. It's a fact. It's definitely been happening. They don't make changes for our benefit. They make them for their benefit generally. Presumably, it's either easier to source, more consistent to source, and or cheaper. Somehow it's better for them, right? And you like better for us is better for them. If it's at the same cost too, because like that's just how it works. But yeah, I don't know if they're like fully settled on what they do, but I've cracked slabs from every era and they all vary a little bit. But if you're taking care while you do it, it's pretty easy, I think, to crack any of them.
Yeah, I would say so.
There's definitely some different ones out there. As I said, they flex more before they break. They don't shatter as cleanly. They like deform a bunch before they shatter. Less brittle. Rainbow Jim wants mostly the USA ones. There's several never released here. Pokemage says a more serious question. Now that vendor POVs are a popular type of video, what do you both think about having such a robust time capsule of today's market for cards in the future? What do you think?
I don't know. On like the one hand, I would say I just wouldn't watch them. Cause like watching like old videos, like I don't know, like watching old market talk videos from a couple years ago. Why watch those? It's not relevant anymore. But then like on the other hand, I have like Pokemon magazines from back in the 90s, and those are kind of cool to flip through. Seeing like what base set sold for back then, and seeing all that stuff. So maybe when these vendor POVs get to be 20, 30 years old, it'll be cool to go back and kind of see what pricing was like back then, what the cards look like.
Once they're vintage.
Then. Yeah, exactly. But until then, I don't think it matters. That kind of mid-era time frame, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's like you have the option to go back and watch it. If you don't want to go back and watch it, you don't have to. Kind of like my whole thinking behind me having the YouTube channel. It's a time capsule. Will I ever actually go through and watch a substantial portion of my backlog? Definitely not. Will I go through and in a few weeks, I'm going to make a gray felt hat recap video. Will I 5 years from now, 10 years from now, go back and watch that video when gray felt hats are $10,000 for a PSA 10? I might. I might. Just like I think of $100,000 Bitcoin and how I could have bought a bunch of them at 200, I might reflect back. And I don't have any. I wish I had a YouTube video talking through the first time I bought Bitcoin. And I do have a YouTube video of the first time I put together a palette of sealed Pokemon to time capsule for 5 years. So same way that I'm going to be interested in reviewing some of my own videos, I will be interested in reviewing maybe a Bulbasaur video in 20 years. Multiple things could happen. Two main things. Either the market's tanked, this whole thing was a bubble, the junk wax era was real, and Pokemon died. And when I'm 50, 60 years old, I'm looking back like, man, was I young and dumb? And so was everyone else. Or it'll be 10 times what it is now. And it's like, I can't believe I sold those gray felt hats. I paper handed that black label for 20 grand. Now that black label's $250,000. I don't think it'll be either of those extremes. I think it'll be somewhere in between. But yeah, it'll be cool to have the option. It'll be cool to have the ability to check those out if you want to. I actually have. So like Card Collector 2 was one of the sports guys that I used to watch a little bit back during the original bubble, the WotC bubble, the sports card bubble. I've seen some clips. I've seen people share in Discord like a clip of someone saying something about how Charizard's going to 1 million before the end of the year and this, that, and the other thing. I've definitely wandered down a rabbit hole and watched some old videos of 4 or 5 years ago. I've definitely ventured on some old E4 UPCCC threads from 4, 5, 10 years ago. And it's wild sometimes to go through and review and see what you were saying and see what other people were saying. It can be fun. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have that captured.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Grimer wants to know, how are you planning on navigating the Prismatic release for streams? I am getting not enough. I'm getting enough for like 2 or 3 weeks of streaming, maybe. I'm going to constantly be selling and I'm going to constantly be buying. So the whole time I'm going to be selling at hopefully 100 to 110% of market. And I'm going to be buying for 75 to 80% of market. And I'm going to make margin. That's my whole strategy for Prismatic. That's my whole strategy for Surging. That's my whole strategy for Journey Together, for the Rocket set, for all of them. I am always buying, always selling.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that for Prismatic. I didn't do that for Surging. Because I had a decent bit of Surging. Sold out quickly. But I never restocked Surging. But definitely for Prismatic, gonna have to do that because not getting nearly enough, which is it stinks.
Yeah,
I don't think your Prismatic is not gonna last a week or two. I think realistically, I think I could sell out. I think I'm gonna sell out on Saturday. Like do the initial stream Friday. Sell out on Saturday. I can realistically see that happening.
Are you gonna let that happen? Won't you raise prices a little bit?
Yeah. No, I'll keep raising the same.
I don't want to run out. I don't want to run out of a set. If I have to raise the price a little bit to slow people down, I will. I know some people are like, think of the children, you dirty scalper. It's like, if you don't want to buy it for that, don't buy it. Mason, CNA Games, has made so many videos about this. It's like, people will cry about me having a booster box that they could get on TCG Player for 110. People will cry if it's 120, but if I make it 110, they'll all be gone in one day, and then people will cry because it's not there. So it's like a lose-lose situation. I was talking to Alex Nostalgianomics a couple days ago. I talked about this on my stream last night. The cry-buy equilibrium. It's not the supply-demand equilibrium. It's the cry-buy equilibrium. So if you price your cards and everyone's buying and no one's crying, you price too low. If you price your cards and everyone's crying and no one's buying, you price too high. If some are crying and some are buying and you stay in stock, you priced it perfectly. You hit the cry buy equilibrium to perfection, and that's what you need to do. You need, like, if people come into a stream on Sunday night of Prismatic release and we don't have it, they'll go somewhere that does. And you don't want that. If you have it and it's $5 or $10 more than they would like it to be, maybe they'll still go somewhere else, but you're more likely to be like, that's my take on all of it. It's like, I want to have Crown in always. I want to have 151 in always. I want to have Prismatic, at least at release for the first couple months, always. So I'm going to shy towards being a little bit high, so people cry a little bit. But if everyone's crying and no one's buying, I've gone too far. Damn it, Dan. You've gone too far with it. You've done and broken the cry buy equilibrium. And yeah, that's I was pleased with myself when I came up with that little that little thing there. I was talking with Alex, Nostalgianomics, about how high he should price his Japanese 151 booster boxes. You need to at Pokemon with that quote. Make sure to check out _retrospects on Instagram for the best Japanese booster boxes prices. People will always cry. They'll find a reason. Don't you worry. If you like, that's the thing. Say that release weekend. Say that I was the most moral, most perfect person on the planet, and I was so nice. If I passed through my whole allocation, not at retail, but at wholesale, more people would cry than any other number. If I did it at wholesale, more people would cry than if I did it at 200. Because you know what would happen? If I had PK or Ponga go live on Prismatic Evolution's release weekend, and we had $30 ETBs, they would all sell. One guy would buy them all. Why didn't you limit them so I could buy some?
Yeah.
We limited them to one per person. Well, 160 people got them, but I wasn't in that 160 people. You scammer, you scumbag. Like, what's wrong with you? You didn't say one for me. It's like, no matter what you do, people will cry. That is inherent. That is out of your control. It's going to happen. So like, my take is, and BUY or BYE, buy or buy. It's, yeah, I lean towards, and I don't fault people for, like, it's like, great. If you want to sell them at MSRP, cool, gold star for you, whatever. I just don't do that. I sell for market, and I don't feel bad about it. I sell for market. If people buy, they buy. If they don't, they don't. It's fine. Exactly. The whole thing is just, people get so weird. People, like, last night, I was wilding. Last night, I had the lights red behind me. I was going off. I'm going to try to control myself here. But I was talking about communism. I was talking about 12 billion cards printed.
Go back and watch this live.
It was a good one. It was a good one. At one point, I was showing half of an Eternatus and a full Charizard. So 12 billion cards. I'm going to give the TLDW. 12 billion cards were printed in 2024. If you got more than 1.5, you are a monster and you disgust me. Because there's 8 billion people on this planet, and everyone is entitled to Pokemon cards in equal shares. So that's how ridiculous people sound when they say that I'm entitled to getting one at MSRP. I'm entitled to get one for the price I want to pay. No, you're not. It's not water. It's not food. It's not shelter. All those things. That's my, yes, people are very weird. People are very entitled. People are, I had a lot of bangers last night. That was a fun stream. There was a lot of quotes that came out of that one. I can't wait until I feed that thing into Opus. There's going to be so much gold. I'm so excited. And the buyer buy, before Retro calls me out, he's going to say I'm gaslighting him and a bunch of other things. I want to say I stole the BUY or BYE. I stole the buyer buy from SM Pratt, I think, who might have stolen it from someone else, I'm not trying to say that I like own these things. There's a couple things I've said here and there. I'm going to Google the cry buy equilibrium. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. I don't think I got that from anywhere.
Until now.
I Googled it and it says Equilibrium Brewery, who I've drank some of their beers before. But like, I don't think cry buy equilibrium is a thing. I think I made that one. I'm not one to steal things and try to make them my own. I genuinely think that one is me. I had a lot of bangers, said the bearded woodsman who only listens to country. Oh, I said something about, I was talking about if people like, hey Dan, what happens if people send piped packs to you? Like you buy a bunch of loose packs for streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what kind of vetting do you do of those packs to make sure that they've not been resealed, scaled, piped, whatever you want to call any of it? And I talked about the math behind it. Like you could just open 10, and statistically speaking, most times you're gonna get at least one hollow. 1.7% of the time, though, you're not gonna get a single hollow out of 10 packs with true fair packs. But one thing you could do, and people talked about this like years ago, I was never scamming with it, but I armed myself with a scale. Maybe at some point, I don't have one as of today, but maybe at some point I have to get that stupid scanner so that when I buy 1,000 loose packs from John Doe, I might have to check 20 or 30 of them at random and make sure that the proper amount have hits in them, and then mix them all back up, throw them in a box, and send them to PK Arpanga. I might add that as a security measure within my sourcing operation at some point soon. I don't know. I've not fully decided. This conversation literally came up like yesterday and last night. So it is what it is. But I do need to, like, I need to, you need to. When you're buying loose packs by the thousands from people, the open community, you need to do something to ensure your ultimate buyers are not getting screwed over, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. There was a John Doe. I'm not calling out that John Doe. There was a John Doe in my chat last night, which is funny. I would wager that his name is not John Doe, but maybe it is. I don't know. If your name was John Doe or John Smith, having a YouTube name of John Doe or John Smith would be interesting, because it's like a lot of people have a YouTube name of their name, but like when you have such a generic name, it's like it's like a way to be anonymous while doxing yourself because your name's so common. I had Taylor Swift analogies going on last night. It was a fun stream. It was one of my favorite streams I've done. John Doe is in here. Shout out to John Doe. John Doe, please don't dox yourself. Don't tell us if that's your real name. Don't tell us if you're just using the I used to watch a lot of Law and Order SVU, CSI Miami, all those shows. John Doe, Jane Doe, those were like the generic names they gave to the people. Anyways, I'm getting pretty ranty. I'm getting pretty hyped up off that Coca-Cola that I drank with lunch. I do have LaCroix now, though. I have LaCroix to wind down. No additional caffeine, no additional sugar.
There we go.
John Doe is Devin. So thankfully, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I did not dox John Doe. Now he doxed himself, though. It's Devin. Ponga says most people are idiots. Oh, he's telling me to say it. Say it. Most people are idiots. I don't think he was saying most people are idiots, but yes, I agree. Pokemage says, I'm tired of the victim mentality. There are opportunities everywhere to collect, flip, invest. If you let one bad thing stop you from attaining your goals, you weren't going to last anyways. Yes, like I do. I feel bad to some extent for the people who are the truest of true collectors. I feel bad for the people who watch Taylor Swift open for Rascal Flatts for $80, and now her concerts are $3,000, and they can't go anymore because they can't afford it. They don't value it that much. I feel bad for collectors who just want to buy some Prismatic, but like there's so many things you can buy. Fill out holes in your collection. Buy raw singles on TCG Player. Take a break for a little bit. Come back. I can't guarantee it. I can't promise you, but I am very confident Prismatic will be $6 a pack or less in the next 2 years at some point.
I can definitely see that. With how long Prismatic is releasing, because like booster bundles don't come out until April. We've got something in March. We have something February, March, and April, and then they're 100% going to do reprints of something. So there's going to be plenty of Prismatic packs. It's just this initial release that you're not going to be able to get unless you want to pay for it.
Yeah, and if you go buy your fine meats from the butcher section at Walmart, when you go in there, check. You might get lucky. You might score something at retail. I'm talking not like tomorrow or not next Friday, not next weekend. You might, but you might also get punched in the face or something. Hopefully not. But over the next several months, when you're out at Target, when you're out at Walmart, take a peek, pop into some Discords, follow some Twitter accounts. I think there's a solid shot everyone that wants it will either through the secondary or primary market be able to get packs at retail, packs at $6 a pack. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. I truly think that will be the case, though. You might want it when everyone else wants it. You might want it out of the gate, but you nor I nor nobody is entitled to getting that.
Yeah, exactly.
Will an SAR muck in the rocket set save the hobby? If your Grimer collects, it will. If you're the rest of the hobby, it won't. What do you think on that one?
Yes, same answer as you. Actually, there's another person in my eBay lives who's a Muck and Grimer fan. So Grimer isn't alone. There is at least one other weirdo in the world who collects those.
Oh no, Grimer's calling me out. I say I'm in the woods. I'm really not in the woods. The Adirondacks are like not too far north of me. I don't want to like say exactly how far in every direction everything is from me, because then you can like perfectly triangulate exactly where I live. People know my P.O. box anyways. But I live more in the cornfields than in the woods, to be completely honest. There are some trees next to me. Nick can vouch. Nick did visit my house. There are trees next to me. There are some woods near me, but there are a lot more fields next to me than woods, to be fair. What if scanning single packs would lead to a more divided price tag on heavy light? I am not convinced it would be bad. I mean, it has. So it has in vintage, right? Like in vintage, you have a distinct price for base set heavy hollow guarantee, base set light, just pack art, enjoyer, whatever. So I could see that being more fleshed out. I could see 10, 20 years from now, it's like, hey, I've got my piper here. I'm going to pipe this Evolving Skies pack. It's like, hey, if it's a beeper, it's $100. If it's a not beeper, it's $30 or whatever the distinction would be. Like, that might be a thing. It already is a thing with WotC, mid-era heavies, lights. CT scanning is a thing. At some point, someone's going to be selling, here's a base set first edition box. There's 2 base first Charizards in it. Come get it with a CT scan attached. I don't know if it'll happen in 2025. I think within the next 2 years, there will be a booster box on Heritage or Golden or Fanatics that shows like, hey, not only is this genuine, but this is an EX Deoxys box with Gold Star Rayquaza in pack row 1, 6th pack. Like, I think that will come. I think that will come. I think people will sell a box with a guaranteed hit in it, and they'll attach to the listing, they'll attach the CT scan. I don't think it's happened yet. I think I saw someone on Instagram. I could be wrong. I know we theorized it. So 6 months, 8 months ago, whenever the CT scanning dropped, I remember you and me doing the math. I'm like, what do we think a guaranteed base first Charizard pack would cost? Yeah. I don't think I've seen one pop up, but like, if we haven't yet, we certainly will at some point. At some point, someone will be selling that, either a pack or a box or whatever. And somebody said it earlier, and I forgot to highlight it. But one thing you run the risk of, you need to be careful. Someone might sell someday a base first guaranteed Charizard pack. It could be a reseal. CT scanning will pick up on what the hollow is. Will it pick up that it used to be a PSA 8? Someone CT scanned a pack. They found a Charizard in it. They bought a PSA 8 Charizard. They pulled out the good one. They graded it an 8, and they're like, oh, crap, I just screwed myself. And then they cracked open their 8, and they put it in the pack and resealed it. And now it CT scans as a... So even with CT scanning, it's not perfect. You still have to be careful. Thankfully, criminals are dumb. Mostly. Many people are dumb. Many non-criminals are dumb. Criminals disproportionately are significantly more dumb. Like, if you are in this Pokemon market and you are scamming people, you are a scumbag and you are a terrible person and you're really dumb. Because, like, you can make so much money doing things honestly. Like, what is wrong with you if you have to scam people, especially in this market? Especially in this market. Like, what is wrong with you? So, like, thankfully, though, people who can't figure out how to make an honest living and resort to crime, thankfully, are disproportionately really effing dumb. So most people that are dumb enough to be criminals aren't smart enough to think of the proper way to do it, the optimal way to do it, thankfully. So it's scary. It's scary when like someone really smart resorts to crime because yeah, a lot of the people, how they get themselves caught, it's like that fusion strike. Remember the fusion strike hits? Remember that dummy?
Ridiculous.
Remember that dummy? That's how dumb criminals are.
Dumb.
That's how dumb criminals are.
Why?
Thankfully. You know who the scary
that could have
criminal
made
is?
a crap load of money.
I hope that guy doesn't watch this, but that guy couldn't have had 6 brain cells to rub together. If he had a 7th brain cell, the 7th brain cell would have been the one to say like, hey, you've got retirement money right here.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Gold Star Dogs guy. The Gold Star Dogs guy posted a video. Yeah, all you do is you trickle that stuff out forever. Yeah. Don't get greedy. Don't try to get all the money at once. It's like people are so dumb. Criminals are dumber. So yeah, thankfully, the lights are not red, but the after effects are still coming from last night's red lights. So Chat BN wants you to spill all your unique plays. Are you making any unique plays? What are they?
Nothing crazy. No, not nothing.
He's hiding them. He's keeping his secrets.
Yeah. No, the only thing I'm really doing is new that I haven't done in the past is every month for 2024 last year I bought $2,000 worth of modern and just set it back. And I'm going to do that again this year and the next year after that. And hopefully have like 3 years before I dip back into my 2024. So it's kind of like having consistent inventory for the lives. I've never been good about like buying a collection and setting some stuff back for the long term, but I finally started that in 2024. And it's going well so far. I've been doing like top loaders in a 5-row box. I've got my first 5-row box filled up for 2024 stuff. So now we're onto a fresh box for 2025.
Letting them age.
Yes.
Time capsuling them for the future. That's kind of the way that I see the pallets with my dad. Like I have intended to hold stuff for 2, 3, 5, 10 years. The market's done crazy things and it's outpaced any of my reasonable expectations. So I've always ended up selling them quicker than I intended to. But with the pallets, I'm forcing myself to hold them longer. And what I envision happening, I envision unwrapping that pallet and just sending half out to PK, half out to Ponga, and just selling that through the live streams. Like that's the way that I think it's gonna go.
Yep.
No loose packs went on the first one. I might put loose packs on the next one because like the problem with a lot of the cases that I put on it, they won't be ideal. They won't be optimal for streams because you want like the cheapest per pack price. I'll probably have to sell those to investors. I need to start making some loose packs for the live streams on the future ones.
That's what I do with specialty sets. Most specialty sets, the good ones anyway. Because I hate ETBs. So I'll set loose packs of Crown Zenith, the 151. Those are really the only 2 sets that I did it with. But I'll do it with Prismatic at some point and just set them back for the long term.
Ponga says that's his number one thing in life. Once I realized people are dumb, my life improved. There is that saying, never attribute to malice that which can be sufficiently explained by stupidity. I think it's Hanlon's razor. I always talk about Occam's razor. The simplest outcome is the most likely. But yeah, never like it says people should consider incompetence or stupidity over malice when explaining negative actions. So a lot of people take like the victimhood. A lot of people take like, oh my God, I can't believe that person did that. They're out to get me. The whole world's out to get me. When the fact of the matter is, like a lot of people are just really dumb. A lot of people aren't malicious. Like I can't think of a good scenario to like tie it to, a good analogy or whatever. But a lot of times the most simplest outcome, Occam's razor, is that like that's the most likely one. And a lot of times the most simplest thing is that someone's just being dumb or ignorant or incompetent. They're not like their whole world's purpose is not to destroy you, to end you. That's yeah. Hanlon's razor is essentially Ponga's living by Hanlon's razor, said another way. Retro says, why won't Ponga bring me on Box Nostalgia? And Ponga says Boxed is dead. You guys didn't end it, did you? Did you end it?
They haven't uploaded in a while.
I was just pulling it up. I mean, I follow so many podcasts. To be fair, this podcast itself, we skipped an episode. Our first time ever, I think. So every podcast will skip some episodes. It was 4 weeks ago. I didn't realize it was that long ago. It's not gone forever, is it, Ponga?
I think Ponga's the one who wants it dead too. They were talking about that at some point.
He said, Dan made me stop to go live more. I promise I did not.
On Beerski's call-in show, they were talking about that.
I listened to that. Ponga was throwing shade at me left, right, and center. He was wilding. He was shots were being fired at me left, and right. Easiest way to extract money from the hobby is to auction a Grimer card when Grimer's around. Auction a Cook when Chef's in chat. Auction a Quaxley when Dan's there. You gotta know what people's weak spots are. Montana says, since you only hire people with the first letter of their name P, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Ponga, PK, and Montana. Now that's a it's funny. It's funny you say that because I never even thought about it. But both their names do have P. My parents, for whatever reason, not every pet growing up, but most of our pets growing up, they're on a 25-year streak of every pet they have, they name starting with a P. I don't know why, but like Ponga's funny because like I had a dog named Pongo growing up, same name as the dog from 101 Dalmatians, I believe. But yeah, I just thought that was funny to bring up. One of those things that you say it, and then as you say it, you realize like nobody cares about this, but I'm still saying it. I'm gonna find a question for you. I'm gonna bring it up on screen, and I'll have to run for like 2 minutes. I got a delivery from Crowd Cow. People might not know what that is. It's called Crowd Cow. People probably heard of Snake River Farms. Some people maybe. I ordered a little bit of Wagyu for the chest freezer. So it's on dry ice on my front porch. I need to go grab it. So I'm going to find a question for you and I'm going to go get that. It is cold out, so it would probably be fine. But also like, I don't want to chance it. I'm going to get it into my cooler, my freezer.
Yeah, we got snow today. I don't know if it's still snowing.
We had a cold week. Our week was mostly like 20 and below. Today, when I drove to the post office, I want to say it was like 30, 35. So it was warming up a little bit. What shade did I throw? Let's do this publicly right now. Let me go to Beerski's channel. I timestamped like 3 different things at least. Let me see if I can find Beerski YouTube. The problem is his name is like Beerski brings up a lot of things. So I have a hard time finding his YouTube directly sometimes.
Wow, you can't even scroll through your subscriber list.
I subscribe to way too many people. I subscribed. Here we go. It's Beer
O'Clock.
O'Clock.
See, I don't subscribe to everyone. You have to earn my subscribership.
So it was a 4-hour episode. I posted 3:32:30 and I did a sob emoji. So that had to be Ponga throwing some kind of shade. I'm not going to listen through, but maybe it was only one. It was only one time that I timestamped and I cried. So I did cry in the comments. Ponga must have said something very hurtful. Ponga, you go listen to it. I can't listen to it now. It'll mess up my audio, all that stuff. listen to it and let me know what you said. I don't remember either, to be honest.
I was a
Let's see.
little pissed at Ponga in that episode, I will admit.
What did he do?
Streamers need to shut up and not talk about how good stuff sells for. Giving away all our plays over there, Mr. I'll probably buy any sealed promo you have because they sell for so much in a live stream. Just shut up and buy them, Ponga. Don't tell people how well they sell.
Even Greeny said one of them. If I gamble with Greeny, I'm always making money. I still don't think I've lost a bet with Greeny. I've taken him on the Red Wings versus Rangers like 5 straight games. Maybe he ended up winning one. I can't remember. But I had a good streak going for a while with Greeny. He does remember saying that, though. I think there was more, but we're good. We're good, Ponga. Where are we? Timestamped. He's got a file saved of your negligence, of his insubordination.
It'll come up in his review.
I don't see any more questions. I think we're fully caught up on questions. So Nick, I'm gonna leave you.
Oh God,
I'm gonna hop backstage, and you got to keep this rolling for 2 minutes while I go through my Wagyu in the freezer. I'll be back.
Someone asked me a question here. Oh, that is true. I did sell you a $65 Mew for $3. That's what happens, though. Sometimes you lose a ton of money. Other times you do all right. But it all evens out. It all evens out. Let's see. I don't even know how to say your name. Garicho collects. Outside of grading plays, are there any sets or cards that you would be willing to buy at 100% of market to resell within the next year? For me, it's a little bit different, Garicho. Because of the streaming, there are cards that you can buy at market and then sell and do well on. Like Ponga said, sealed promos, modern sealed promos from ETBs tend to do really, really well. Except for when Ponga's in my stream. So in those cases, I'll buy usually on the low end stuff. Like $1, $2 cards can turn into $3 to $5 cards in the live streams. So like when I'm going to local shows, I'll buy cheap cards I try and shoot for 80 to 90%. But some people just aren't willing to negotiate. And with the amount of lives that I'm doing every week, I'm running 100 cards a night times 5 nights a week. I need a minimum of 500 cards a week. So because of that, I'll pay a higher percentage because I know I'm going to get 120%, 150% of market on those super, super cheap singles. It's not true once you get into even like $10, $20 cards. Once you get above like $5, it doesn't work out the same. But I will say there are cards that I am buying. Even outside of live streams, there are cards that I am buying at 100% of market in the hopes that they will increase in value and that I'll be able to sell in the live streams in a few years from now. That's what I was saying earlier with the box, the 5-row box that I did. All of those cards most of those cards. I did set a few that I bought in collections back, but the majority of those cards all came from TCG Player and local shows that I bought at basically market value. And the first box that I put together, I'll say I bought it's 10 of every alt art that was sub $30 at the time. It's 10 of every Crown Zenith hit, the hits that I liked. So the legendary dogs, the evolutions, the Pikachu, the Mew, the Deoxys. It's 25 of each of the Sword and Shield Charizard UPC promos. And then what else is in there? Some Pikachu with Gray Felt hats are in there. Some of the 151 stamp Bulbasaurs are in there. And then the new box that I'm starting this year is all illustration rares, like just good artwork, illustration rares, good artwork, SIRs, just cards that I like, cards that I know that are popular in the live streams, just stuff like that. Well, I answered that.
So
one.
which ones of these have you taken?
I only answered that one. I told people to ask questions because I wouldn't have anything to talk about. And
there's some good ones that
one question.
Good. There's I heard most of what you said. At one point I disconnected, but I did get all the Wagyu into the chest freezer, so we're good to go. I echo what Nick said. There are certain plays. There's like not even plays. When we had Master Set Games on, he has some cards that are like a channel meme. He has certain cards that he buys for 100% of market. Chef buys the cook card. If I were streaming myself, I would auction a Quaxley every stream. It would be like, it would just be a thing that I did. Even if I lost money, I wouldn't care. Every stream, someone would take away a Quaxley. It would, but other than that, like we were doing marbles for a little bit until the marbles ran out. And there can be some items that even if you're buying them at 100%, some things just go on stream for more than they should go for, more than they go on other platforms. But let's get on to the other questions because there's some good ones here. So Chat BN wants to know, have you thought about expanding, adding another streamer?
It's tough.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Possibly. I'll never turn into Dan and give up my night streams. I'll always be the nighttime streamer. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I think that's a good schedule. I'll always do that because I truly do enjoy it. I can never see giving that up. But possibly adding someone in the daytime. It would for me it would have to be someone local. It would not be able to be like a for you Pong or PK situation. It would have to be someone local to me. Yeah, so possibly for daytime, once, twice a week. We'll see if that happens, but I don't know. I don't know about like a lot of expansion on different platforms, hiring different streamers, kind of phasing out of streaming. That'll never happen.
We as Walrus said, well, one, I had to highlight this. So Ponga said this is the most Nick has spoken on this podcast in 2 years. And then we had the up arrow from Grimer and from Greenie. And then Greenie said I recently watched their first episode they did with James, and Dan was clearly riding shotgun and not taking the lead back then on the podcast, was much quieter. I think I'm not taking much of a leap. Nick brought me on as his 738th choice for podcast co-host. I forget where I was, so I had to go really big with that one. You still do the intro, but I think I talk more on average, maybe a lot more sometimes.
I would have to say so.
But I don't know when the switch happened. At the beginning, you definitely talked more on average. You were the big YouTuber. I was new to the scene. But I think it's probably eBay Live.
I was going to say, I think it was probably around the time eBay Live started.
You bust my chops. I get my chops busted. Dan's always live on YouTube. Dan was live 12 hours ago. Nick is live for 40 hours a week. It's like I'm live for 4 hours a week, maybe. I was on Retro's channel. I go on other people's channels. I do my own thing. But like, I'm live 6 hours a week, maybe tops. Nick's live 40 hours a week, just all on eBay. It's crazy.
Oh man!
But I had to point that out because I thought that was funny. And then also I have to point this out. Mr. Walrus says we've made progress. You used to say never.
Yes.
So Nick just had some time off for the holidays. Yeah, Nick enjoyed it a little bit, and I see the cracks forming. Spicy take, slabbed podcast, spicy take.
Oh boy.
Nick will hire someone by the end of 2025, and by 2030, Nick will be off camera. He will be running a big live stream operation where he at most streams once a quarter.
Oh,
by 2030.
That's bold.
I'm going big. So you're gonna have someone. The cracks are forming today on this podcast.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, you'll have somebody. Ponga's throwing his hat in the ring. He's local. And I mean, genuinely, he could. Like I've told them, they're independent contractors. They're consigning my cards for me, whatever you want to call it. But they're not restricted to only sell for me by any stretch. They can do their own thing. But on the other side of like Nick's take, Nick wants someone that has to be local. Master Set Games has to be local. They have to relocate to him.
Mm-hmm.
Me, be away from me and stay away from me. Like the further the better. No, I genuinely like that in 2.5 weeks I'm gonna be going to drive the PKs. I like that it's drivable. But like I don't want someone I work out of my house. I don't want someone coming to my house. Brian, PokeNE, I've talked with him a bunch lately. I've been on I went retros with him lately. And he has cousins, he has his wife's friend or whoever, a couple people that come over. I just don't want that. I like people, like you've got Walrus comes over, helps. I don't want that. I specifically don't want that. When I want to see people, I will leave the wooded, fielded areas of upstate New York. I will drive to PK's house. I will fly to Ponga's house. I just don't want it on a weekly basis. I don't want it like on a regular basis, people being here. But yeah, I had to point that out. I thought that was funny. There was another thing or two that I'd missed too. That'll be interesting though. That'll be interesting to see if when you expand, like why not add someone right now? Why not add someone soon? Would you be concerned about the sourcing? Like why not add old school Pokemon whatnot? You have it already. You have a lot of followers. Why not just take that?
No, the like different I want to stick with eBay.
You don't want to do that. Oh, what? I heard that wrong then. I heard that wrong. I thought you said you'd be open to it.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, I'm going to stick with eBay, expand during the daytime, bring someone on eBay during the daytime. And I think that will happen at some point. But why hasn't it happened now? Because I don't know if daytime's viable yet. I think it's coming, and it's coming quickly. But is it there right now? I'm not sure.
Maybe someone else is going to make a move on eBay Live daytime streams, and maybe it'll be too late.
I'll be on daytime way before you. Way before you.
Maybe it'll be too late.
No. I've got it locked down. You're gonna drag. You talked about starting Fanatics in July, and when did you start? October. So you're talking about eBay in the next couple of months. Let's say fall of 2025 is when you'll start.
That's very fair. That's very fair. I don't know for sure yet. I would anticipate before April. Once I lock it in, it will happen. I think it'll happen Q1, but I'm not positive. We'll see. Maybe it'll happen end of Q1. Maybe it'll happen when I'm down in Fort Lauderdale Collecticon. MetaZoo's launching. I get a bunch of products. Maybe I kick off my full-time day eBay live streamer, 100% MetaZoo. Who knows?
Oh.
Who knows? Let me make sure. So we did the adding another streamer. Any new no damage Ninetales prospects? You kind of capped that collection, right? At least for now.
Yeah, no, I haven't bought any more. The only one that I think the only one that I'd buy at this point is the 10. I've got every grade in PSA. CGC is just impossible. It's a nice round 50. So I think the only one I'd go for now is the 10. Plus they've gotten expensive. Someone's hoarding them all, so that now the ones on the market are getting expensive. Rusty posted his BGS 9 that sold for, I want to say it was like 9,000 a while ago.
Holy.
And then there was a PSA 9 that sold not too long ago for 7,500. So they're getting expensive.
Would you trade all yours for the 10?
I don't think I would. I like quantity over quality.
I highlighted it because I saw the queue. I didn't realize how spicy of a question it was. It got Ponga to say, "Wow, not even funny." Ponga was offended. If you could force Dan to replace Ponga, singling out Ponga, not replace one of his streamers, replace Ponga in particular, who would you suggest and why? Greeny's going for it.
Literally anyone.
Oh no, Ponga's gonna be sad.
No, who would be a good streamer? I don't know who would be a good streamer. I honestly don't know. Because you gotta find someone charismatic. I don't know. Who's looking to stream that isn't streaming right now? I'd have to think about that one. I would have to think about that one.
Oh.
I do think Ponga and PK are getting better. I will say Ponga, was it Ponga or Pete? Now I can't remember between the two of you. One of them was deathly quiet in the Ponga was quiet in the beginning. Now he's starting to chat more. PK was oblivious to chat in the beginning. Now he's starting to get better with that.
Oh no, I don't think PK and Ponga were expecting performance reviews from my co-host, but there they are, guys. There they are. Scathing ones too. Scathing. He didn't hold back.
Hey, I said they're getting better. You're getting better. Improvement is coming.
Oh man, that's funny. Let's see. Where'd it go? I saw a good. Oh yeah, here we go. Grimer says Nick takes vacations once a month. The cracks have been there. Part of me wanting like a third streamer too is because presumably at some point Ponga and or PK will be traveling to events, and I just like the idea of. I really like the idea of every day having a stream, every single day in 2025 having a live stream. I don't think it will happen. I think there's a decent shot that the three of us all might go to an event. Maybe I won't have a third streamer by then, but I like the thoughts of just having every single day at certain time, like the prime time slots, especially KetchumAllCollectibles will be live. It won't be 2025. I don't think. I guess we've got a good streak going. We've hit it we're only 10 days in, but I don't know what day will break it, but it almost certainly will break.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dan, Nick is always one step ahead of you. Your new thing is business to business to cut out the mundane stuff, but Nick started doing it last year with you talking on his podcast. Oh man,
this is
I like
true.
It.
This is true.
I like it. Actually, I don't even know if I want to talk about it, but I'm a little scared. Troll and Toad Evo. Nick got out of Troll and Toad Evo before I did, and I requested a payout. I heard of buy list being slow. Holy crap! I just sold a bunch of stuff too. I have 2 days ago it was $12,000 I had on account with Evo. 2 weeks ago I requested $5,000 because that's what it was at the time. They've not paid me out yet. The last time I did a payout a month ago, it took them a couple of weeks to get me paid out. They're slow with payouts. Apparently, I talked to, I don't want to use their names because like I talk to people who have multiple people, not just one. I talked to multiple people who have like the code KAC5. I don't have it, but if I had one, it would be like KAC5, KetchumAllCollectibles 5. So I talked to multiple people who have the Troll and Toad codes, and they're slow / not paying those out. Evo payouts being slow, buy list payouts being slow. I don't have a crazy amount, but I'm looking right now. I have $25,000 cash on my account, and I have $57,000 in inventory.
Man.
So if a business could go under between Surging and Prismatic, may RCS have mercy on their souls. Like I don't know that they're going bankrupt. I hope that's not the case, but like they're doing something where they're dropping the ball, they're being slow answering people, and they're being slow paying me my money. It's a little scary. I hope I don't report back in 2 weeks or a month or I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but I hope I hope I get my money and or my stuff. I'm a little scared for it.
Hopefully it's just the time of year. Christmas, New
That's what-
Year's.
That's how I excused it. Like 3 weeks ago, I think it was. I requested, and I had to send them 2 emails to get my money, and it was slow. And then 2 weeks ago, I requested it again, and I had to send them 2-3 emails to not yet get my money. I emailed them and I asked them to call me. I don't even have a number to like get a hold of anyone anymore. So yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but Cubone is Metal's comment made me think about it. Like you sold me your Troll and Toad Evo inventory. You got out of it. Well, I was like really getting into it. Yep. And then that did not pan out. I mean, it panned out really well for a year, and then it's mostly gone now, and I might get wrecked at the end of it.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I don't think I'd ever go international. I was mostly joking when I'm like, the further away, the better. I don't think I would go international. The amount of additional concerns that pop up with them earning income based out of a U.S. company. It's like, who are they going to ship to? I think Fanatics is only U.S. right now, but international is very unlikely, but I can't say never.
Yeah. It's a whole different market internationally. Like, you don't know what, like, who would have thought Paldean Fates and Twilight don't do as good over there in wherever as it does here.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to learn a whole new market.
Yeah, the logistics, the customs, all that kind of stuff. Too much for me to deal with.
Yeah.
Rainbow Jim said, Jake, Pokenomics wonders and kind of told me to do an international podcast to see who can talk more, Dan or me. Rainbow Jim, if you ever want to come on Pokeflips, you are absolutely welcome on Pokeflips. I told Jake the other day in Discord, I'm like, Jake, he has a channel, he's not used it in quite some time. I think he'd be banging his head against a wall if he came on and found all the same questions, all the same hype, FOMO, stonking, all the same crazy things that he got frustrated over a few years ago. All the same and more are happening today. So I don't anticipate he'll be back, but who knows, he could be. But yeah, Rainbow Jim, if you want to come on Pokeflip sometime, 2 weeks, we're going to have a guest. 6 weeks after that, 4 weeks after that, every 4 weeks we have a guest. So if you want to be on, if Jake wants to be on, absolutely hit us up.
I haven't talked to Jake in a while. I haven't talked to him at all since the wedding.
You're not local to him anymore. You flew away from him.
We used to get together.
The only Rainbow Jim said that would be about collecting and cards from the past, not about investing. That would be perfectly fine. Whatever you want to talk about, if you want to come on, we will definitely have you on. Maybe if you want to talk a little bit about, some modern cards, we can talk a little bit about.
No, we're not talking about Pikachus. We are not talking about Pikachus.
Oh, man. Dan will announce his eBay Live operation the day after Nick adds his first streamer. I think I spoke to Dan about streaming in 2024. Dude will start eBay in 2026. Ponga, yeah, I was going to say Ponga must have meant 2023 because we did start in 2024. But I think you did. I think you talked to me very late 2023 about it. You and PK, I talked to both for a long time about it beforehand. But we got there and we're doing big things now and we're not stopping. Daytime and MetaZoo, so a giveaway stream. I like it. Where are we at? April Fools this year, are we getting the wife streams? I don't know if you mean like the wife doing streaming on Fanatics or eBay Live or whatever, or if you're talking about on Pokeflips. I don't know if my wife. I think I told you this, or maybe I only told the live stream. My dad might come on. My dad might come on I guess we could do it on Pokeflips or we could do it on my channel. But around the year anniversary of the palette, which is this May, my dad might come on for a stream at some point.
Really? That'd be cool.
Which I think would be funny. I don't think my wife would ever come on. I don't know. I know Rusty's had his wife on. I think Greeny's
Mhm.
had his wife on.
Yeah.
James has had the Lauren and Friends show. I think she's been on
Yeah.
a little bit on his channel. I don't know if mine wants to come on or not. UAP wants a Rainbow Gem stream. I'd be up for it.
That'd be fun. We
Rainbow
talked a lot
Rainbow
in Chicago.
Rainbow Gem's gonna be in the USA on April 1st. Young Bambino said, I switched from Dan's live VOD from last night to Pokeflips. We are booming. We are booming indeed. Top signals everywhere, but markets stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Absolutely. Bastoy said he'd stream for me in the UK. I think the logistics of that. I want people that are not on site with me, but I want people that are in the USA. I don't want to deal with the customs, the sales reporting, tax reporting. I don't want to deal with all that logistical nightmares. And then like when I ship UPS to Ponga or PK, it's a few days. I don't want to deal with the time and the risk and all that international shipping. So I can't say never. I can confidently say that not anytime soon to have an international streamer. It would definitely be complicated. I would love to have Rudy on, but like he does not go on anything. He does a little bit of collaboration with Open Boosters and with a couple of those other guys that he's friends with, but like he would not come on Pokeflips, I don't think.
Not a shot. No chance.
That said, it's like a shoot your shot situation. It's like we've never asked. He'll definitely never say yes if we never ask. But
that is true. That is true.
It's a 0% chance he'll come on if we don't ask. It's a 0.0001% chance that he will come on if we do ask.
I feel like there's so many other big Magic channels out there, though, that he would go on before a 1,500 subscriber Pokemon podcast channel.
He did comment on a video of mine before, though.
Did he?
He commented. Yep, he commented on a video a couple months ago, and it's not like it's a video that I linked to him or anything. 2 years ago, during the boom, I pulled that Rudy Pump and Dump card from his 6.9 year anniversary boxes. I linked him to a short. I don't think he subscribed to my channel or anything. He didn't even watch it because like he just left a generic comment, and I could tell that he hadn't even watched it. But yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago, I DM'd him and I said, hey, I pulled this card of yours, this 1-of-1, like, check out this video. And generic reply, but he actually gave like a well thought out response to like a 30-minute video that I did a few months ago. And that doesn't mean he's going to come on the channel, but he's at least watched the channel before. I've talked with him a couple times in DMs. I am in his Patreon. I've been in his Patreon for years. I'm not in there for like the value. I'm not in there for because I'm getting like good deals on stuff. I did buy MetaZoo products back when they was doing them. I did buy the recent MetaZoo bankruptcy sale thing that he did with first edition MetaZoo. It wasn't an amazing deal, but I think it was a decent deal. I probably could have beat it with auctions if I paid attention, but I don't. So, but yeah, next time I DM him, whenever it is, several months from now, probably, I'll say like, hey, what do you think about coming on Pokeflips? I'll shoot my shot, probably get rejected, but might as well try, right?
There we go. There we go. Let's see how it goes.
I'm not trying to flex by saying I DM Rudy. Literally anyone, his email is public. He doesn't do Instagram or anything, but I pay him money, so he answered my DM. That is like the opposite of a flex. That is, I'm aware as I say it, I'm aware that is literally the opposite of a flex. So no, I'm not trying to flex. I do message with a billionaire on occasion, though. Cam is hilarious. I miss Cam. I miss the old Never Punish podcast. I wish Cam was still around making content with James. Cam is hilarious. He's like, go DM Nat Turner. You can DM a billionaire on Instagram, and he will actually respond to you. Blows my mind as much as it blew his mind. And I have DM'd Nat a handful of times, and Nat has replied to me, or at least read the message every single time. And it's crazy.
That is wild. The amount of time he spends on Instagram.
Retro, I didn't message him. I didn't message him calling you out. I didn't message him to say, hey, check out my video, come comment on it. So Retro DM'd a video to Tech who answers every YouTube comment. Rudy does not answer every YouTube comment. I have not. Let me go to my Patreon and see the last time I messaged Rudy. Whatever. I'm gaslighting Retro again. I'm sure anything I say is gaslighting Retro. So I don't want to say too many things. But I get so lost in Discord. Okay, here we go. Messages. 4 months ago. 6 months ago, and it took him. Oh no! See, this was a DM saying I'm a long-term patron, so he actually DMs occasionally. If you're a long-term patron, he DMs better deals. So the MetaZoo kit that I bought, I think I got a better deal than most people got because I've been a Timmy for so long. I get a slightly better deal. It's not plus EV, but I messaged him 6 months ago. What did I message him about? I messaged him. Oh, yeah. I can't share what I messaged him about. I had some interesting DMs with Rudy several months ago, but yeah. And the time before that was literally 6.9 year kit, 1 of 1 hit. I sent him my short. So yeah, I was surprised when he commented on my video. He did not comment on my video because I messaged him in that week or that month. He commented out kind of out of nowhere. And I think it's cool that Tech replied to your video, but he literally replies to every comment. That's not something that Rudy does. That's not something most people do. That's something I do because my channel's small. It's surprising Tech does it every time. Like, props to him because he's a pretty big channel. He gets a lot of live viewers and everything. Anyways.
He's not doing anything anymore. He's retired. He's got nothing but time now.
Oh, man. I see the commentary. Gaslight them all collectibles. I didn't DM him that video. I DM'd him a video 2 years ago when I pulled the Rudy 1 of 1 pump and dump card. And then he commented, it was the most generic reply. It was one of those things where, like, I'll read it. I'll see what he said. I said 6.9 year kit, 1 of 1 hit. I think he actually asked. I think he asked people, if you hit a 1 of 1, tag me, DM me, whatever. And he said, great videos, man. I sent him this like fairly lengthy thing saying I hit the 1 of 1, 6.9 year pump and dump. And I linked the video and he said, great videos. There's no way he watched that video. Like, it was the most obvious thing. But when I DM'd him, he gave me a lengthy comment replying to the question I'd asked him. And when he commented on my video, he gave a pretty lengthy, well thought out thing. And it was from Rudy Alpha Investments 6.9, whatever it was, 69. And I didn't even know it was him when I first replied to him. Anyways.
Can I make a request here? When your kids get their first like participation trophy, can you record the interaction you have with them?
My son, actually, he's gotten on consecutive math tests. He's gotten hundreds on math tests. Getting 100 on a math test, it's like, yes, be proud. I'm proud of you, son. My daughter brought home a bracelet she made yesterday at school. Nice, that's cool. But like, I go to the kindergarten graduation. But what show is it from?
and you boo saying everyone graduates kindergarten.
Just recently, I was watching a show where it's The Incredibles.
I love that movie.
I love that movie too. We watched it the other day with my kids, and Mr. Incredible was like, "Why am I going to go to my son's 5th grade graduation ceremony? It's like he's going to the next grade. He didn't do anything." It's like they're celebrating mediocrity. I'm very much on the side of Mr. Incredible in that front, but like it I forget where I was going with that exactly, but it made me think of that. It made me think of that from The Incredibles. I go to those. I'm obviously not going to say anything, but I could start now. I could start now on a 20-minute rant on how our school system is failing people because they don't fail people. I don't know if it's a thing outside of New York, but like in the school district that I'm in all the school districts around me, I don't say never, they very rarely fail kids. So when I was growing up, at least everyone around, all the schools around me, there were the kids that were older. There were the kids that failed a grade. And I think because they don't want to like ostracize people, because they don't want kids to get picked on, they just like push them through. So if a kid is in 4th grade at a 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade reading level, they do all they can all year to like try to catch them up, but they don't fail them. Back in my day, they used to fail kids. They used to hold kids back. These days, they push them all through, and I think that's bad. It's not perfect to fail them, and kids get picked on, and yada, yada. It's not perfect, but, like, it's not good to not fail kids either, in my opinion. So these kindergarten ceremonies that every kid goes to, these 5th grade ceremonies that every kid goes to, even the kid who's at a 2nd grade reading level, even the kid, and I'm going to get into trouble here. Obviously, some kids have legitimate disabilities, and some amount of kids, though, it's just bad parenting, bad behaving kids, blaming the school system, blaming the teachers. It's like, man, there is so much. I could never be a teacher. I could never be a teacher because I couldn't deal with some of those rotten kids. I couldn't deal with some of the more rotten parents that created the kids. I don't need to go. I've already gone down that rant, that path a little bit, but I'm not gonna go much further. Retro is the Wizard of Oz victim extraordinaire. If I'm the Wizard of Oz gaslighter extraordinaire. Oh God. I hope it's memes. I genuinely can't tell sometimes with Retro. I hope it's all memes.
I don't know. I think you stirred them up. You got them riled up over there.
Sometimes it feels like it's hurt feelings, and I hope it's not actually hurt feelings. Let's see. All that said, all that dark twists and turns we took, it would be awesome to have Rudy on, but I would not hold my breath. I would not hold my breath whatsoever.
No.
I'm making sure I didn't miss any. So Rip Troll and Toad, I'd stream for you in the UK. I think I found where I was.
You missed a ton.
Only a little over 10 minutes behind. I was over an hour behind all last night. Rainbow Jim was at the museum. Please, no more hats for me. No more gray felt hats for Rainbow Jim. Here we go. Hash Ketchum wants to know, do you consign WotC to EX era theme decks?
I gotta get back into consignments. I was doing good the beginning, all through last year until I moved. Then I stopped them because I was waiting on my PO box, and then I never reopened them. But now that I'm finally back set up, I am gonna start pushing that a little bit more. But yes, I would do that.
Walrus has a good point here. We have a higher chance of getting Nat than we do of getting Rudy.
100%.
Would you want to have Nat on?
Not really. I wouldn't have much to ask him. Except
I'm in a similar spot.
Why is CDC better?
I would be bad. I wouldn't want to have him on because like I would want to. And to be fair, like I've watched Nat in a lot of interviews. He's taken some hard questions.
He does.
PK, I love you, but you are way too much of a PSA fanboy. You let him off too easy with some of his corporate speak answers, and I wouldn't want to let him off easy with the corporate speak answers. I remember one of the questions, and I can't remember if PK asked him or if someone else did, but why not first in, first out? And he said 95% of submissions have fringe cases.
Yeah.
That was the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. My last 4 submissions to PSA, 3 of them were all one card that's pop 30,000. 95% of submissions do not have fringe cases. 95, like you could do first out and first out if you wanted to. I would have pressed on that hard, probably to an unprofessional level. And like props to PK for being more professional. I just don't want to have that. And some people will say, Retro saying you're gaslighting yourself, you're coping, he wouldn't come on, so you're saying you wouldn't want to have him on. Someone's going to say that in the chat, I know. I'm going to say it before they do. But like, I genuinely, it could be interesting, but I would lean towards not wanting to have that on this channel. I just, nothing would come from it. It's like, I watch all of his other streams. I think a lot of them are great. I already know the answers to all the questions I'd ask that he'd actually answer. I'd ask him some questions and I'd get corporate speak answer that's a non-answer, which is fair. Like I'm not saying that's wrong for answering in the way that he should answer. it's just annoying. And I'd want like the real answer, which you can't get.
And you can't push them to give you a better answer either.
I would ask about consistency. I would ask about how do you train people. I would ask about things that every question would be a hard question. Every question would have a corporate speed answer that I would not be pleased with. I would not be satisfied with them. And I'd want to press more, and it wouldn't be professional. It wouldn't be, not that this channel is highly professional, not that I'm highly professional, but I just wouldn't want to put him in that situation. And I also know that there's a decent shot he might not come in anyways. So like, it's not cope, it's not gaslighting, it's not whatever Retro and Brad are going to call it.
I bet you he would come on. I bet you he would come on if we asked him. He goes on. Yeah. He answers anyone's question. He goes on anyone's podcast. He's been on a ton of different podcasts.
I've seen him on sports podcasts with 200 subscribers.
Exactly.
I've seen Nat Turner interviewed videos that are 2 years old with 300 views.
Yeah.
Like he would probably come on.
I think there's 100% chance he would.
But yeah, let's continue. I've got to scroll through all these retro and Brad comments. Let me see if I can find any actual questions so that I don't end up gaslighting anyone.
Someone had is water a substance, Dan?
Is water a chemical? Yeah, Fat Belly was sad that I was paying a rich man money. These kind of takes, and I don't know if it's memeing or not, but like, oh my God, you gave a rich guy $15 a month for the past several years. It's like, I understand a lot of people like, do you listen to popular music by popular artists that are billionaires and millionaires? You also give a lot of money to very rich people. It's like, I don't know. Continuing. Bastoy said, Nat Turner has responded to me and I've only got 700 subs. He seems like a very receptive person. Credit to him. He responds to all his DMs. He reads them all. I think it's him. I don't think it's like a secretary or anything. It's genuinely him, which is crazy.
That is.
And like around some of the big events too, around the national, he'll say like, DM me your card and I can get it. I can facilitate it being PSA graded, PSA reviewed. Like he does that in his DMs. That's so wild to me.
That really is.
Nick and Rudy would be an elite podcast. Oh man. Congrats on your trophy, but everyone gets one. Dan is cold. They're both in soccer, and at the end of the year they get their little medals. They actually do have multiple participation trophies each. I don't like go out of my way to celebrate them, but I'm also not like throw that in the garbage, son. That's trash. That doesn't mean anything. Like people see me as some like monster that's gonna like. I'm not doing any of that, but I'm also not like, oh my God, you're the best in the world. You're the next Leo Messi. You're the next Cristiano Ronaldo because you got this medal at your 6 and under. What do they call it? 6U AYSO league or U6. What are your business goals for this year?
Oh, that's a good one. Gonna shoot for 1.6 million in sales. That's the biggest goal.
Is that eBay Live alone? Is that everywhere?
That's everything, which is mostly, I'd say 85% eBay Live, 15% regular eBay.
I don't know the number yet because I don't even know what I did yet in 2024. But my video on Monday, actually, I have so much to do this weekend. I have to pull a bunch of. I say so much. It's not that much. I have to go and I have to pull the annual sales report from eBay, from Troll and Toad, I sold a little bit through PSA, from Fanatics Live. I have to pull all those and then do my PayPal. I want to just get the gross numbers. So my video on Monday is going to say I sold this much in 2024, and I'm going to set my goal for next year. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I have an idea, but it's going to be counting consignments, not all my own stuff, counting live streams, counting everything, it's going to be 3 million-ish probably.
Nice.
3 million-ish in total sales. And I'll talk a little bit about the split, how much I want to and think I'll do on Fanatics Collect versus live, maybe adding eBay Live. I'll talk about the transition from eBay over to Fanatics primarily. Maybe I'll bring some back to eBay Live. It'll be a fun video.
But what are you gonna? What's the percentage of your stuff?
So I don't have it totaled up yet. I know in 2023, I only remember the number because it was a specific number. I did $666,000 in 2023 of consignment sales. I remember it because it's like 666.
Yeah.
I did more in 2024. I don't know exactly. I don't have. I know this number is not perfectly accurate, but I did roughly 900,000. I know this number is not accurate because I need to go through and I need to actually check it. I know it's broken in a couple spots, but here's my master consignment payout spreadsheet, and it shows 900,000. It needs to be fixed a little bit. It could be 800. It could be $1 million. But so in 2024, I likely sold 2.5-ish, with 1 million being consigners and 1.5 being me. So if I had to guess, I'm probably going to say in 2025, I want 3, and maybe 1.2 to 1.5 will be consignments, and the rest will be me. If I had to guess.
Okay.
I move a lot of stuff. I mean, PK and Ponga move a lot of stuff.
Maybe I'm not set because I did 1.3 last year, and I'm saying 1.6 this year. Maybe I'm not setting my sights high enough.
So far on Fanatics, and I have 2 streamers doing it too. I have 2 streamers. You're one person. You have Walrus helping you, but we're doing 100,000. We're doing 100,000 a month right now on Fanatics.
Yeah.
So we're moving product. I'm not going to give all the numbers. I'll give that in a video upcoming on my channel. But in October, we did 90. It was not a full month. We started on October 4th or October 6th. In December, we did 124.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, that alone, if that held flat for the whole year, 124 every month times 12, that's 1.5 million right there on Fanatics Live. So the number might not be 3. I might shoot for 4. I need to see all the numbers first before I set my smart goal. Take a shot if you're playing the drinking game. Dan said smart goal. So someone proposed the drinking game last night in my stream, and it was like, if you followed that drinking game, you would have consumed 17 gallons of alcohol by the end of it. It was like if Dan says buckets, if Dan says smart goals, if Dan shows a gray felt hat Pikachu, you would have been dead 100% if you play that game. I hope no one did. Let's see. Bless all teachers. Bad apples don't fall far from the tree. That's when I was doing that rant. Do you hit keys for old school RuneScape? I thought you just point and click. You primarily point and click in RuneScape. Speaking of that, I'm gonna do an old school RuneScape live stream next weekend sometime. So put it on your calendars.
Put it on your calendars. I'm sure a bunch of people will.
I know at least 3 people will. I know at least 3 people will be hanging out there with me. I might do it as an unlisted thing. I might post it on my Instagram. I might post it on my YouTube, and then go live for a few minutes and then unlist it while I'm live. I don't want to screw with the algorithm that's got 200 people in my live streams right now.
That's true.
Maybe I'll do it on Pokeflips.
There you go. We're a dead YouTube channel anyway.
Oh God.
How many viewers? I don't even have YouTube pulled up. How many viewers do
we have? 67. 67. Ugh. We're not booming quite as hard over here.
We're not. No, we are not. Oh, it's because of Nostalgianomics Live. That's why.
Oh, he stole
You
everyone
beat
from us.
his numbers. What?
Who's he live with? I saw he had a special guest.
I don't know. I'd have to click into it. Hold on. Let me turn my volume off.
Did you watch when I was live when Retro had me, Alex, and Brian on? There were
I'm sorry, what?
600
Hold
plus
on.
people.
There we go. What'd you say?
There were 600 plus people live when
that was insane. I saw it. I was in that stream. That was wild.
That was so nuts.
I could not believe that. And I think that was well, I'm sure it was all of you combined, but that was wild just to see how many people were in that stream.
Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, Alex right now has that guy Steve on. He's had on his channel a couple times. He has 466 people watching. He had Brian on that one time. He had 1,000 live viewers. He had me on the next week. We had 500. It like the live viewership right now is crazy. It is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Not that he needs it. But I'm gonna throw our chat over to Alex's video. So we're gonna raid Nostalgianomics when we're done here. We're probably gonna wrap up soon, usually by 4:30. So we're gonna wrap up in the next few minutes. You guys will be sent over to Alex and Steve over on Nostalgianomics. Oh God. I'm reading Greeny's comment that I'm not gonna highlight and actually read out loud.
That was a good one.
That's part of why. Like, I know I'm not professional. We are not professional on this channel, nor on my own channel. But like, I don't want to have an industry professional on my channel the way that it is, the way that it's run. I'm not blaming chat, but like, chat just goes along with what we put out. But I'm questioning if I actually want to have my dad on a YouTube live stream with the animals that I have following me. Like, that will probably be the disaster of the century.
Oh God, that could get funny. There's gonna be a ton of meme questions.
Retro says can't wait till Dan's dad live, where Dan's dad starts spilling truths, and Dan hits him with the "you must be misremembering. You've had too much to drink." Like, I've said it before. I've definitely gotten some of the commentary. Like, dude was born on third base, thinks he hit a home run. This, that, and the other thing. I've gotten some of those. I'm not ashamed. I will share to you every single thing I got, every single thing I didn't get. People get super weird. People get super crybaby victim about like, he has this, that, and the other thing. The only reason I don't is because he got lucky. He had benefits that I didn't have. People get so weird about that stuff. I don't need to have the whole rehash out the American dream is dead thing. But like, in this hobby, in this market, what we're doing right now, it is disgusting the amount of opportunity. And the thought that some people point fingers and cry and say, well, he had this, he had that. It's like, shut up. Shut up to anybody who starts crying about that kind of stuff. My sister did have Polly Pockets. I may or may not have participated in some Polly Pocket play when I was younger. But I did have a bunch of Pokemon cards too. Oh God. That's funny. What matters more, gross or net? Whatever matters to you. Like,
no, net is 100% more important.
Net is obviously the one that matters, but like, there are situations where, and I never got there with eBay, at least not that I utilized, but there are situations where, and people are dumb, so they won't be able to grasp this with their brains. But like, sometimes grossing 2 million and making 50 grand is better than grossing 1 million and making 60 grand. Because if grossing that 2 million unlocks for the next year lower eBay rates, lower PSA rates, lower CGC rates, if that volume gets you something, even though you made less money. So that's why I say there's always black and white. There's always nuance. Sometimes less net is more, because sometimes less net now will be more net in the future. So net is the obvious answer. It's always net. but short term versus long term, there's a difference sometimes. So like that's the things people won't wrap their minds around. People only want to hear 0 or 1, black or white, binary answers. Most people's brains can only happen like, will it go up or down? I don't want to hear Dan saying it might go up, might go down. Which one's going to do? Tell me, Mr. YouTube man, which one's it going to do? My brain can't handle nuance. My brain can't handle gray area. Everything is nuance. Everything is gray area. So like, even such a simple question, a softball question with only one answer, what matters more, gross or net? There's still gray area to it. Dude's gonna be streaming RuneScape while PK and I slaving away, slinging $15 packs. Absolutely. I'll be talking about you guys. I'll be pointing people over there. Hopefully, people will have me on RuneScape on one stream, and they'll be using their PSA credits on the other. Retro's last live was fire. Retro is a great YouTuber. I just wish he would actually make videos. I love his interview style. I don't think it's as good as Wonders. They're very different, though. So depending on what you're after, I think two of the best interviewers in the hobby are Retro and Pokemon Wonder. I wish both of them would make more content. But I'm happy when we get it. And I wish we get more. I hope we get consistent. Retro went from 1K subs that morning to 1.25K subs that night. That live stream was so wild. That was nuts. Dan trying to get in front of the Polly Pocket accusations, politician move. I think they actually made somewhere in my storage, I have bootleg Pokemon Polly Pocket things. I swear I'm not making this up. I'm pretty sure they made them.
I think you're trying to you're trying.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right now on chat.
Pokemon things. I do not believe this. I do not.
I'm presenting my screen right now. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna prove myself right.
What even is it?
They're Pokemon Polly Pockets. It's a thing. I accidentally I locked my family outside of the house. I locked the deadbolt. I will, and we will wrap up soon.
Oh God. Yeah, I did not play with Polly Pockets as a kid. I can't say I did. Can't say I did. Just say pass and don't answer. I don't need the trip. Dan put stuff on a pallet. He thinks it will go. Finally available to catch a live tonight. Deuce for welcoming. I haven't been able to do that in such a long time. Hope to see you again tonight. Let's see. His interest in vintage cook. Maybe I'm just a boomer. Nobody cares about vintage. Nobody cares about vintage anymore. It's actually I'm actually it's a little bit tougher to buy vintage in like lots than it is modern nowadays. I've been having a tough time finding anything decent of vintage. But what is
do you take back what you said? Do you take back what you said, Nick? They're a thing. They're a thing. So, to be honest, though, my sister had Polly Pockets when she was younger. I don't think I had Pokemon Polly Pockets when I was younger, but I have some now. I have them somewhere. I don't know where they are. I have them in a pile. I have the toothbrush. I have the camera. I have VHSs. I have a bunch of like oddball crap like that. And I don't think I had it when I was younger, though. I don't remember having them. Anyways, though, we have to wrap up pretty soon. I accidentally locked my family out of the house.
Wait, didn't you just leave them on it?
Oh yeah, I did go. I did go get it, but I mean, like they're home, so I'm gonna wrap up. Soon
Okay.
I need to get a new deadbolt. It's probably warranted. I think deadbolts are warranted for a long time. So when you're locked from the inside, you can't use a key in our deadbolt. Our handle locks and our deadbolt locks. So like you can't from the outside. A key doesn't work in the deadbolt. It gets stuck.
Oh.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. I either need to fix it or I could just swap it. We have a different door I could swap it with that doesn't really need a deadbolt anyways.
Just buy a new one. They're like $40.
Yeah.
You're talking about swapping an entire door?
No, just the deadbolt. You don't have to swap the whole door. You just swap the deadbolt. It'll take 10 minutes.
Just buy a new one. Half the amount of work.
I might have a spare kicking around because I don't even remember which doors have deadbolts. I have like a back garage thing. I think that one has a deadbolt on it that doesn't even have like you can't even physically lock it because there's no slot in the door jamb for it. Oh. So I can probably just swap it with that one. Anyways, though, that'll be a weekend project. It's cringe how there's no Pokeflips merch where Dan and Nick are the Latias alt art. Oh my god, that sounds terrible and hilarious. Let me see if I missed any other questions. I don't think so.
Riveting content.
I think I'm fully caught up. Do you see any questions I'm missing or no?
I didn't see any. No, I'm hanging out at the
okay.
I think we're good.
Very riveting content. We can send it off with that. You will be redirected into Nostalgianomics live stream. Anything to add in closing? Catch PK live tonight. Do not go catch Nick on eBay live. Go catch PK on Fanatics live.
Or me.
Other than that, it will be so we will be live on Pokeflips in 2 weeks on Friday the 24th. We will have a special guest. I don't know who, but that's the day before PK and I do the big box break on Fanatics with a base set box. So I'll probably be pumping that then. I'll pump it a little bit right now too. January 25th on Fanatics. Base set box break. All 36 packs auctioned from $1. We're YOLOing it. We're going for it. RCS take the wheel.
Stop it. We're YOLOing.
Be there. Have you ever done a Watson? Well, you did the giveaway one at Gen Con. Have you ever auctioned your own?
I did Fossil no, I did a few. I did Fossil, Team Rocket, and Gym Challenge.
$1 auctions the whole way?
Yeah. Yep.
Did they go well, all of them? Or did you get wrecked on any of them?
Gym Challenge I broke even on. Team Rocket and Fossil I made money
on. That's good. That's not bad. I mean, yeah. If break even's your worst, and then you make money on the other two.
Yeah. No,
I can't guarantee it. If base goes well, I have a crazy thought, and who knows, maybe we could do it. Jungle in February, Fossil in March, base set 2 in April, Rocket in May. It would get hard once you got to Neo Genesis, and then you had Destiny and Revelation, and then the e-reader era. I don't know if we'll get that far, but like doing each set in order for several months would be fun. We're going to try it. If it works out, we'll do it. If I get destroyed on base, it might be a one and done, but we'll see. With that, hope everyone has a great weekend. And with that, it won't be PK doing all of them. Ponga said he doesn't want Jungle and Fossil, but like maybe he'll do base 2, maybe he'll do Rocket. We'll see, but definitely work in all the streamers on that proportionally to how much they stream. PK does stream 2.5 times as much as Ponga right now, 5 nights to 2. But anyways, have a good weekend. Have a good night. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Go tell Alex and Steve that Dan and Nick sent you.